Welcome back to Michigan Hockey here on WCBN Sports. I'm Eddie Olejniczak. Alongside me, Zach Warshaw, bringing you the second game in this two-game series between the Badgers and the Wolverines. Badgers escaped trouble last night, being down one going into the third to make a victorious comeback, winning 5-4, officially 6-4 with the last-second goal. And heartbreaking the Wolverines there. Zach, is there anything that stood out from last night that you want to see, you don't want to see in tonight's game?
Well, let's address a couple things. First of all, the major elephant in the room was the shot differential. Wisconsin had just under 50 shots, where Michigan had about 17 or 18. That just can't happen again. The fact that they were leading for most of the game is incredible, because if you're getting outshot by that much, you're usually going to just be absolutely destroyed. Big shout out to Cameron Corpy for keeping in that game. Logan Stein will be in tonight, but he's the one that saved them last night, so they're definitely going to have to keep that differential much closer and try to even win that. Another thing that I want is not an icing every 5 seconds. The Wolverines gassed themselves by just having so many icings, and they could, it went so long in between changes that they were visibly just completely out of breath out there. They got to stay focused, stay fresh, and keep the shots to a minimum.
I couldn't agree more, and the Wolverines looking to clean up some messy mistakes, especially in the third period last night, as both teams come to the circle for puck drop here in just a second. Starting lineups for the Wolverines: Captain Truscott, Hattie at the defenseman, Logan Stein, as you mentioned, getting the start here in goal. Moldenhauer is stopping LaPointe. The forwards for the Badgers: Tassi, Lindmark, Botterill. Graham getting the nod in goal after coming in late in last night's game, and Palachuk and Kerr for the defensemen. Puck drop here at the Kohl Center. The Badgers win the first opening draw and get it into the Michigan zone. Botterill keeps it along the boards, gives it up to Wolverines. Estapa plays it up and across. Going to be a quick icing there, as we just talked about.
Yeah, obviously, unavoidable. However, that can't. The point I'm trying to make is last night it was a theme where it was happening every minute. I think that was the most icings in one game I've ever seen. So that's definitely something I gotta look forward to. However, an icing 15 seconds into the game is not cause for concern yet, but definitely keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Morrissey takes the draw for the Badgers and wins, but the Wolverines' Moldenhauer gets it out into the neutral ice. Badgers retain possession right at the big W at center ice, but throws it back in the Michigan zone. Hattie fighting down on the boards, and the Wolverines retains possession, throws it over to the captain, Truscott, who fires it down ice to LaPointe, who flips it into the Badgers zone to just get a bench-clearing change here. Morrissey brings it up the ice, gets a tip from Finley. Fantilli back in the lineup tonight for the Wolverines on the second line. Gets it out to neutral ice, and just some sloppy passes here to start the game off.
Kind of seeing a similar defense in what we saw at the end of last game from Michigan, where they're not playing super physical. They're kind of letting Wisconsin do their own thing and just taking away all the passing lanes.
Completely agree there. Werner steals it from Scholes deep in the Badger zone. Swings it out to Duke at the blue line. Shifsky controls it, fires one errantly off a pad into the deep corner. Michigan fighting for it against the boards. Phelan able to corral it for the Badgers as he hits it up to Fitzgerald, the hero for the Badgers last night, playing in his 100th game, and scored the OT winner. Quick shot there by the Badgers in the crease. Tyson Dick tried to get a quick one by Stein there, going 5-hole, and was unable to. Badgers retain possession, now getting a little sloppy. Fitzgerald corrals it at the blue line, but it sneaks away and sneaks right out of the zone as the Wolverines right in front of their bench try to fight for possession, and it gets flipped in.
Michigan is letting Tyson Dick literally just set up shop right in the crease, right in front of Logan Stein. They got to be a little more aggressive to get him out of there, because if Logan Stein can't see, there's going to be so many tip-ins that are possible, so they definitely got to keep an eye on that.
And we saw that last night with two of the Badgers' goals, getting a nice tip-in right in front of the net. Wolverines trying to control it in the Badger zone here as it gets swung around to the captain, Truscott, who gets a quick wrist shot off at the point, but able to maintain possession, the Wolverines, before losing it after a big hit on Hattie in the corner. Michigan tries to tip it in the zone. Ernesti and his speed chasing deep into the corner. Gets tied up there with Finley. He's on one knee, throws it back to the blue line. Draper waiting there at the blue line, fires a shot just wide left. Badgers get a big hit on by Ethan Edwards, who had a couple mistakes but made up for them last night with his goal to go up late into the second.
The game last night was very chippy, and we're already seeing examples of that less than 5 minutes into this one. These teams definitely like to mess around with each other.
Draper gets the goal there for the Wolverines off a deflection of the defenseman. A good 1-2 play there to get the Wolverines on the board first. First shot, first goal.
Sorry, didn't mean to talk over your ability to call that, but no, Herman was just completely on the wrong side of the net there, and they were able to find him backdoor to easily put that one in. That was probably the easiest goal he's going to have all season. Had the entire 6'4" cage, just could take his whatever shot selection he wanted. Great job by Keenan Draper to tuck that in to take the early lead.
Nice to see Draper getting in the mix early here. One of the star-studded Red Wings draft picks there. 16:50 left to go in the first. Michigan strikes first as the Badgers try to keep it in the Michigan defensive zone here.
Michigan goal scored by number 33, Keenan Draper.
Low Aaron shot wide left with some blockers in front. Lindmark, the captain, tries to poke it back in right at the pads of Stein, but unable to, and it clears the zone. Scholes takes it back and just chasing to get it back out to neutral ice out of the Badgers zone. Reed Mullen passes it up to Shifsky. Shifsky just dumps it across. Duke tried to corral it at the blue line, now fighting with a Badger for it in center ice. It's going to be an offsides call.
I think they're going to call a penalty here, actually.
I think the captain, Lindmark, might get a hold.
Are they getting Michigan on
Michigan
this?
number 5 was a 2-minute minor for holding.
Oh, they're going to give Tyler Duke the holding penalty. I didn't see that, to be honest with you.
That's an interesting call there for the Wolverines, and not where they want to be, up one and now down a man. It's a little bit of a hold, and I can understand.
Yeah, I can understand the call, actually. They look like they got a little tied up, but you can totally consider that holding. It's a good call.
Lindmark was trying to drag him back, sell the call a little bit, and it worked out for the Badgers. So 16:05 left, they'll get a 2-minute penalty and try to even this up at 1-1.
Wisconsin went 2 for 3 on the power play last night. They're definitely looking to keep that rolling.
TJ Hughes getting the second line start tonight and not the first. It clears it out of the zone for the Badgers to recoup on their offensive push. They get it across the red line, fire it in. Stein kind of corrals it on the side of the net to get it under control for the Wolverines. Draper able to clear the puck out of the zone all the way down to Grame. Dexheimer controls it, waiting for his offensive push to set up. Badgers get it across the blue line, looking for a pass in the crease, just missed through the legs. Morrissey up top, goes for the one-timer over to Finley and just not there and able to complete, shot wide right. Morrissey sitting at the point looking for a pass. Mosley tried to get it in the crease with a one-timer, just unable to complete, and the Badgers with 52 seconds left unable to succeed on this power play.
Wisconsin's game plan tonight is clearly to have a player in Ovechkin's office, if you will, over on the opposite circle of whatever's happening, and they're just feeding them one-timers. They've done that about 3 times already this game.
A good observation there as the Badgers lost control and it went all the way down to the Badgers' defensive end. So another time-wasting clearance by the Wolverines to try to kill this penalty off. Tyson Dick brings it up center ice. Looked at Fitzgerald, but went the other way. Kind of throws it in the corner now. Lindmark, the captain, who just got the holding call, unable to corral it, and it is cleared out by Michigan again. Good start here with 8 seconds left on the penalty kill to kill that penalty off, which they had a little bit of trouble doing last evening.
Yeah, they definitely did. They struggled, especially the one hurt where they let up a power play goal with literally 1 second left on the power play. They got to definitely find a way to keep Wisconsin from converting because they did a great job of that last night. Good job stopping the first one, though, for the Wolverines.
Fitzgerald brought it into the zone with an errant shot. And now the Wolverines got it back out to neutral ice, but right back into the Michigan zone. Fantilli kind of corralled it, threw it over to Ethan Edwards, and he throws it out of the zone just to give him a break. Stein gives it back over to Edwards after the dump. Taken over by Mellenbacher of the Badgers. Tries to get it across. Good hand in the lane there by Moldenhauer. And he's assaulted at the blue line and unable to corral the puck. And the Badgers retain possession with a 3-on-2, and they'll flip it up and off the top of the glass, but not out of play to Duke, who
that
is
was
down
kept
low.
in play by about 3 centimeters. That was pretty impressive.
Hughes takes it, fires it just wide. I believe it was tipped in front of the net. Badgers regain possession, but not for long, as Shifsky steals a nice pass in the lane and throws it back into the zone for the Wolverines. Werner to chase. Scholes, errant pass. Hughes throws it into the crease, but unable to get any Wolverine in that area. Raheem Mullen throws it over to Hughes, who brings it into the zone. Shifsky, now errant pass, kind of gets tied up with his own man. And the Badgers have a 4-on-3 opportunity. Finley across, great stick in the lane there by Werner. Probably saved the goal as Stein was slow to get across.
Definitely saved a goal. They had Dexheimer there wide open again, back door. They're gonna get one of those tonight if Michigan doesn't look out.
Couldn't agree more, and that's where a lot of their offensive success came yesterday. And Hattie was down on the ice fighting with a Badger to try to get back up into the play. Ernest fired one off, but blocked off a Dexheimer right at the crease. Morrissey behind the net in his own zone. Tries to get it out, and he does get the clearance. Tried to get a quick pass back off the boards, unable to. Dexheimer controls it at neutral ice, throws it up for Horbach. Horbach kind of tied up there.
Oh my, throws a punch after the whistle, it looked like.
Yeah, Felicio, not often he's on this line, and he was tied up with Horbach going around the line and well falling. Tried to swing, but I don't know if the refs saw any of that, thankfully for the Wolverine faithful.
Yeah, for Will Felicio, definitely wanted, I mean, the oldest saying in the book is they don't see who did it, they only see the retaliation. And definitely got away maybe with both players honestly throwing a punch there, so probably better off that the refs just let him play, or else you don't want to be creating stupid mistakes like that less than halfway through the first frame.
11:39 left here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Badgers get a quick win off that draw and fired shot there by Tyson Dick, who's just waiting for his opportunity.
Wisconsin loves to do that multiple times a game. They scored on one last night where if they win the faceoff, they take a shot immediately just to try to get to the goaltender napping. And you'd be surprised how often that works. Teams do that all the time because usually they expect to pass it back to the D, maybe be fine with it. But no, Wisconsin loves the quick shot off the draw.
Fitzgerald gets thrown out of the zone here for the Badgers for an early increase. Tyson Dick comes in to replace him against Draper and wins it. Pilatichuk threw it over. Tyson Dick gets the one-timer to go. Top shelf over Stein, and just like that, the game is tied 1-1 with 11:30 left to go in the first period. And you just called it. He's sitting there waiting in the crease for a one-timer or a tip, and he got his opportunity, and he threw it right past Stein.
Yeah, the defensive plan of like taking away passing lanes and not like pressing them is fine. However, they're not doing it well enough. They're leaving plenty of gaps, and they're leaving guys completely uncovered. Like I just said, backdoor, which is like kind of the first thing you learn to cover in hockey. So they really got to tighten that up fast, or else this is going to get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, Michigan wins the draw there off a tip of Moldenhauer's stick, throws it into the zone. He throws it across Truscott, corrals it at the blue line. Tried to throw it on net, but got blocked and came out of the zone, so the Wolverines are going to have to resurface for an offsides. Stoppage of play here, as LaPointe did not see the offsides hand up. A little chippiness behind the net after a quick confrontation. The refs are all over it, as he had just thrown a punch on the same player. Now he's trying to get a little bit more back.
And just going back to the goal real quick, it was Tyson Dick who scored it, who, I mean, as a color guy in the third deck, I mentioned him at least 2 to 3 times, wide open back door. If you're Michigan, you got to notice that the same dude is setting up in the same spot wide open, and you got to cover him. That's just really unacceptable from the number 10 ranked team in the country. Not that Wisconsin's bad by any means, just saying.
Completely agree. Felicio sends it into the zone, but it gets stuck up in the netting, and then it comes just out of the zone for another face-off opportunity here as Badger fans are back into this game, a little more sold out than yesterday. We got some people in the third deck today, which is nice to see.
The Wisconsin student section, the Crease Creatures, really gets into it. They kind of give the children of Yost a run for their money in terms of student involvement. They are into this game right behind Logan Stein and definitely making themselves heard all night.
They do, and it's a bigger arena than Yost, and they're making themselves have the same noise, which is impressive. Whitelaw chases it deep in the Badgers zone. Tyson Dick able to take it out of the zone, leading the offensive. Fitzgerald chasing Edwards into the corner to try and get it. Draper comes up from behind and gets it over to Felicio, who's looking for a pass-out option in neutral ice. Draper's waiting there. Takes a quick wrister just into the center pad.
What speed there by Garrett Shifsky to get behind the entire Wisconsin defense without them noticing. Good footwork across the blue line to angle himself. Just maybe got to put that in the top corner so not right into Grandma's chest protector, but still a great opportunity there for the Wolverines.
Yeah, more chippiness there for the Wolverines, so I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple penalties possibly in the near future of this game for the back-to-back-to-back whistles of just chippiness behind the net, and the refs will get fed up with that.
I have an observation to make. Every Big Ten school plays the same music. I just feel like mentioning that. Not that it's a problem, but I think it's funny.
Hopefully they don't all share playlists, as it gets a little repetitive up here every now and then. Draper comes into the point against Morrissey, and he's able to corral it for the Wolverines. Quick shot on net, and is scored off the rebounds. TJ Hughes.
This is insane. All 3 goals in this game from both teams have all been backdoor goals. It's like both teams have forgot to cover it, which is kind of fun to watch, not going to lie. But the second one team figures out how to cover this, it's going to be over. But it's incredibly impressive for TJ Hughes to set up there, again, unnoticed seemingly by the Wisconsin defense, and easily tuck it into the wide open cage as he's set up for that.
Yeah, Rayu Mullen or Shifsky, I couldn't tell if it was 7 or 17, was at the blue line, threw a shot off, and it perfectly bounced back to TJ Hughes, who was
right
waiting.
Place, right time. That's the definition of that. Bounced off the back boards and just right onto his tape.
So this series is not losing any of its steam as it's 2-1 Wolverines with 10:20 left to go in the first. Shots are a little more equal than last night.
Definitely 6-3. Technically, Wisconsin still has double the shots, but it's definitely a closer margin. Obviously, we'll see if they can keep it that way.
We'll take it instead of 40-20 as Page comes up the ice here with a little bit of speed. Ernestine was trying to be fed in the crease and unable to corral it as it gets tipped out of play for another stoppage play with 10 minutes exactly left.
Speaking of that, Michigan has 2 goals on 3 shots. They gave Tommy Scarfoni the night off after his rough start last night. However, if we see another goal here in the next 2 shots, we might see Tommy Boy come back in, because this has been not the greatest start in the world for Grandma tonight.
Yeah, Wisconsin, one of the rare teams that dresses everyone every night. They have no roster cuts here, so you'll see 2 goalies on their bench, 1 on each end, working the doors if they're not in the game. Badgers able to corral that face-off in their own zone. Tried to feed a Badger at the blue line, but it's going to be called offsides, as a weird kind of bounce off the back of him off the glass. Tassi and Botterill were there and just called off sides for a stoppage here as they clean the snow off for the under 10 media timeout.
I want to point out something. So Wisconsin's first line center is Gavin Morrissey, who we heard a lot of last night. I have not heard his name or seen him once tonight. Wisconsin really needs to get him going if they want to get their offense rolling, even though they have a goal already. I mean, he's plus 16 in the plus-minus category for a reason. The offense kind of runs through him, again, as the first-line center. So Wisconsin definitely wants to get him more productive tonight if they want to keep in tune with this Michigan offense that already seems to be rolling.
Yeah, and he was a big factor in last night's game, just controlling the neutral zone and getting some opportunities for the Badgers, even when they were playing a little lackadaisical, to just get into the offensive zone, throw some pucks on net, which last night they had no problem doing in the first 2 periods. But after the start of the third, there was a little quiet there, but they ultimately came back for that win. And the Wolverines are in a good place, but it's feeling a little familiar to last night's game, and they would like to add at least one more, and the Badgers aren't sweating yet because they came back from worse last night.
Well, and kind of what we discussed at the beginning of last night, Michigan is number 10 and Wisconsin is unranked. However, these are 2 very evenly matched teams. They're tied for 4th in the Big Ten right now. Actually, Wisconsin leads now for the win last night. Despite it not being ranked, Wisconsin is the most underrated team, not only in the Big Ten, but I'm going to say really the country, to be honest with you. These teams go toe-to-toe every single time they play, and it's always a 1 to 2 goal game at most.
Yeah, looking back in December when they split the series, Michigan hoping for the same thing here. Hughes comes in against Fitzgerald, 13 on 13, and Michigan wins the draw. Edwards throws it back into the neutral zone. Shifsky got a little side check, but able to get it into the Badgers zone. Fitzgerald takes it out for the Badgers. A little dump and chase there.
Michigan, the defensive scheme has completely changed. They're now back to their ways of completely pressing them against the boards and being more physical. Clearly, Narado did not like how that was starting out, and so he immediately changed it halfway into the first period.
Yeah, Edwards getting physical with a stick in his face.
Graham just falls over.
Yeah, Graham fell over there waiting. He was going to play the puck and didn't see Werner chasing heavily into the zone, so he fell backwards, but the Badgers able to control it against the wall here. Draper getting aggressive, having himself a game here.
Quieter night than usual last night for Keenan Draper, so definitely wants to make himself heard, get back into the scoring column tonight. We already did. I'm saying, like, make himself more of a nuisance to Wisconsin.
Halem chases it into the Michigan zone after an errant pass. He's trying to corral it in the corner over there. Scholl gets it back for the Badgers, but stopped at the blue line by the captain, Truscott. Hattie over to Halem. Truscott off a stick and out of play.
I don't even know where that went. That was the most deflected shot I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'll give them credit. The nets here, very see-through. I don't know how they do it, but usually you can follow the puck. I cannot.
It's the most thin but sturdy twine I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is. The backdrop here, beautiful new Kohl Stadium, a couple years old. Kohl Center, stadium, arena, same difference. Both historic programs. They got a new stadium. The Wolverines still playing in their historic stadium. Yeah, Michigan fights for the draw there, but out of the zone.
I appreciate the heritage and beauty of Yost Arena every time I'm there. However, this is a beautiful arena they got going on in Madison.
Couldn't agree more. And again, shout out the athletics department here, really hooking us up. Media, athletics. LaPointe overskates in the Badger zone, regains control. Stoppa at the point, fires one off. It is tipped and in. Fantilli, welcome back to the lineup. Adds another one on the score sheet for the Wolverines to make it 3-1 with 7:47 left to go in the first.
What a job by Fantilli to get that. I'm not even going to say second chance opportunity. I'm going to say third or fourth. After the shot from the point, that bounced off 2 to 3 players' feet, and just he was able to tuck it in, as they are going to pull Grandma here, as that is his third goal allowed on 4 shots. So definitely not the start that Wisconsin was hoping for from the backup.
The wave of Grandma into this game, but unfortunately his night is cut short as of right now. Scarfoni comes back in, trying to get a little bit of revenge against the Wolverines for last night. 7:40 left. Wolverines fighting deep in their own zone. Regain control with the captain defenseman.
Michigan goalsman number 63, Luca Fantilli.
Earnesty, nearly a high stick, but corrals it into the zone. Still fighting against the boards to get the puck back.
And assistant number 94, Mark Stepa.
Care of the Badgers throws it around the boards. Tassi wrapped up with 2 Wolverines over there trying to keep it in the zone. Ernest stops it at the blue line for the Wolverines. 2-on-2 here. The captain, Lindmark, unable to get it through Ernest's stick handling.
He was trying to embarrass Ernest there, tried to be a little too cute and do a little bit of a nutmeg move and get it through his legs there.
Hattie and Hage, thankfully, have very similar last names, but 2 different numbers. One's a single digit, one's a double digit. Otherwise, I'd be confused up here. Both rushed into the zone just to get it down there for the Wolverines, but it's thrown back by the Badgers. Going deep in the Wolverines zone for the Badgers. Fights against the wall. Draper puts a check on the body, keeps him on the ground.
Ooh. What a hit there by Zach Schultz of Wisconsin.
Draper gonna get a penalty. It's a delayed penalty. Scarfoni running to the bench. Not necessary though, as Draper was fighting for his stick to get back out between the 2 legs of, I believe, Fitzgerald, and he just took him down to the ice for an automatic hand in the air.
Yeah, maybe losing his cool a little bit there at the very end. He was just trying to get a stick back, but you can't exactly take a guy down behind the play, especially. Going to call that every single time if you're the refs.
They will, and they do the showing the opposing team's player in the penalty box, which everyone boos here at the stadium. So Michigan will go down a man. With 6:09, Badgers looking to strike to make this only a 1-goal difference.
Head coach Brandon Dorado visibly aggravated at that call.
Not happy there, and a lot of replaying of videos up here, and it's a fair call. You can't do it. Dexheimer got the Badger draw that went out of the zone. Trying to make a strong offensive push here. Finley caught off sides for the Badgers unnecessarily to stop that offensive push.
Yeah, I don't know why he was so far ahead of the play. I mean, you guys were charging into the zone on the power play, and you just stopped your momentum. Look, they're going to try and get that back immediately, but definitely shooting yourself in the foot there.
100% there, and Morrissey takes the draw but loses it. Jashivsky. Truscott able to get it out back to neutral ice. Finley, another offsides penalty. Not his fault this time, as the assistant captain Mosley was trying to get out of the zone from the previous push. Another stoppage of play here. 5:50 left to go. 1:41 left on the Draper penalty for the Wolverines.
So far, the hardest part on this power play for Wisco is just getting it into the Michigan attacking zone. They seem to not be able to get over the blue line.
100% there. Dexheimer brings it into neutral ice and now into the zone. Finley tries to get deep in the corner. Back out to Dexheimer, and he fires a shot that went wide right off a deflection. Dexheimer over to Morrissey. He gets deep in the zone. Mosley tried to get it out, but the Wolverines hail him, have a 2-on-1 with Estapa, and he tries to fire it across, but unable to connect. Went off a Badger's skate. Otherwise, there's another short-handed goal for the Wolverines there.
Great defense there by Owen Lindmark, getting back and stopping him from putting that in backdoor again. Saved a goal there for Wisconsin.
Dexheimer drops it off as he makes a change. The Badgers dump and chase into the zone as Logan Stein tried to get a stick on it. Duke fighting in the corner there. Ernestine getting a lucky stick on there before a hand pass was called. Badgers retain possession in their own zone, trying to set something up in the last 35 seconds of the power play. Duke of the Wolverines gets it, flips it around. Ernestine was able to get it all the way down the ice, and the Wolverines get a full line change here. 17 seconds left in the penalty. Tyson Dick throws it across, errant pass. Hughes fires it right back down the ice. Draper ready to get out of there in 7 seconds. Badgers looking for a quick push here, running right in front of the boards. Badgers fire one wide left of Stein and unable to even touch the net there. Moldenhauer Almost had a suicide pass there as he was trying to get it out of the zone. Scholl fires it back down quickly.
Great job by the line change of Michigan to get over to the opposite side very quickly. He had a wide open lane there that they completely took away in just a second.
Kerr was trying to get a quick one there, and
that might be a penalty.
Raheem Mullen is going to get another penalty here. Duke's not happy about it.
And it's honestly, it's the same exact thing he did last night, where he kind of just totally cross-checks a guy into the boards, and you can't do that. That's just like cardinal rule. You're behind the guy, you're never going to get away with that.
So the Wolverines, fresh off of the penalty kill, goes right back on it with 3:31 left to go, up 3-1. Raheem Mullen gets called for the hold deep against the Badgers in his own zone. Michigan goes back to 4-on-5.
And Ron Mullen is not a dirty player by any means. Before this series, he had one penalty all year. So definitely out of character for him this series.
Badgers get it. Morrissey throws it down low to Tassi. The first line out there for the Badgers. Throws it across Dexheimer, but just wide left. Truscott gets it all the way out, but throws it over the glass into the home team's penalty box, thankfully not hitting anyone in the crowd.
Thankfully for them, they're going to say that was deflected, or else they would have gone 5-on-3 for almost 2 whole minutes. So definitely catching a break there.
Thankfully. Wisconsin still leading in shots 6-4, but down 2 goals early in this game. Hughes goes in for the draw, gets it, goes forward with it. The Badgers able to retain possession there, but flips it out of the zone for no reason. It was number 9, Cohen. Tyson Dick tries to bring it back in the zone now, throws it over to Cohen. Tied up against the boards there. Page throws it around. Hattie throws it out of the zone. And all the way down for the Wolverines, who get a change. Second line, power play unit on for the Badgers. First line, penalty kill for the Wolverines. And they get it out of the zone again. Ernestine trying to show off his speed to make Tassi make a play in his own zone.
Ernestine always likes showing that off when he can. As a 6'2", 215 forward, definitely the speed is a little bit of a surprise to other teams when they see it, but he definitely has the wheels.
Badgers struggling to get into the zone, playing patty cake with 4 Badgers right at the blue line. Edwards able to get it back all the way down the ice for the Wolverines for a quick line change. 32 seconds left on the Raheem Mullen holding penalty for the Wolverines. Badgers looking for one last push. Finley brings it into the zone. Held up by Fantilli. Finley controls it. Morrissey at the point. Tried to throw it back to Dexheimer. Changed his mind. Threw it deep into the zone. 3 Wolverines, 3 Badgers fighting over it. Finley threw one wide. Little deflection.
Almost had a chance to catch Ron Mullen coming out of the box there, but the Wisconsin defense got back knowing that was a possibility.
Quick time in there as the Badgers recontrol themselves here. Not having any chance on the power play unit for the Badgers tonight. Looking to change something up almost in the last minute of play in the first period here for the Badgers. Would like to get one more, make it manageable. The Wolverines just too strong defensively right now. Hage gets a 2-on-1 with Whitelaw. Whitelaw tries to bury it and unable to.
Stuck behind the net. He had to jump over Tommy Scarfoni.
Horkoff tried to get it. Whitelaw was stuck in the net for a minute. Hage has it at the blue line. Edwards up and high on the glass, but not out of play. Edwards went to kill someone in the corner and not able to connect, but missed the puck completely. Wolverines getting scrappy in front of the Michigan bench. And there's going to be a cross check. And I think both players are going to the box with a review.
Yeah, the players on the Michigan bench actually chirping him as he's down.
Yeah, head, neck, in the area there for that cross check. And the refs are not happy with Horkoff. who was getting bullied against the post in between the two benches. And this one, I think, might be called a minor. Start with a review.
Wisconsin 22, Michigan number 44. 2 minutes each for cross-checking.
Oh, yeah, he cross-checked him right in the neck. That's gotta hurt.
And if I'm the Badgers right now, I'm going to want a review on this with 22 seconds left in this period. But they also got the penalty as well. Horbach, who got cross-checked, who came in.
His cross-check was just a lot less violent, I would say.
Yeah, and he was still stuck with the penalty there after falling to the ice and skated over, thankfully.
As they play a little camera bingo here.
So 2 minutes each for Horkoff and Horbach. With 22 seconds left in this first period. So both penalties will go into the start of the second. As the Wolverines and the Badgers will play 22 seconds till the end of this period. 4-on-4 hockey. Lindmark and Hughes go in for the draw. Lindmark wins it with a quick puck drop by the linesman. Truscott goes after it. Duke fighting the player, not the puck. Werner brings it up the ice. He has some speed and he likes to show it off as well. He got thrown in a spin cycle there and unable to control it. 1 second left in the period, and that's going to do it. Wolverines strong in the first period here, up 3-1. Shots are 6-6, so on paper, other than the score, it looks like an even matchup, but too many penalty minutes for the Wolverines is really what's keeping the Badgers' morales up at this moment.
Very undisciplined hockey from Michigan. You had 4 penalties in the first period, which is insane. Really, they got bailed out by Grandma's poor start that got them pulled, where they got 3 goals on 4 shots. But otherwise, they would be down 1-0 because they are completely shooting themselves in the foot, leaving Wisconsin players wide open, having Logan Stein bail them out. But like we just said, the main problem is the discipline. You can't lose your cool this fast. You can get chippy. You're playing Wisconsin, which you want to beat really badly. However, you can't totally lose your head, which we saw multiple times, leading to the 4 penalties in the first period. And he probably could have had more that just weren't called.
Couldn't agree more, and I know the Badgers are going to be a little disappointed with that first period performance, looking to strike, and Michigan's going to have to adjust and keep their emotions in check. It got them in trouble a lot last night. So 15 minutes to the next start of the period. It's alumni night here, so we'll leave you to listen to the sounds of that with a bunch of national champions and former players for the Badgers in attendance here. And we'll be right back in probably 11, 12 minutes to bring you the second period of action here at Kohl Center.
Badger fans joining us on the ice. We have some of our Wisconsin men's hockey alumni. These players range from the 1960s to recent years, including some players from those first 3 national championships that you just saw. These Badgers created the gold standard that is now Wisconsin hockey. We thank all of our Wisconsin alumni. They're so proud of everything that you have accomplished off the ice. Now, direct your attention back to the video board as we take a look at Wisconsin's most recent 3 national championships.
To an insurmountable lead. As the final horn sounded, Wisconsin was victorious with a dominating 6-2 win.
Dust off those shoes, get a nice stretch in, because it's time for the 43rd annual Crazy Legs Classic on Saturday, April 26th. Gather your fellow Badger fans to participate in an 8K run or a 2-mile walk around the UW-Madison campus. Visit crazylegsclassic.com for more information and to register now. See you at the starting line. Pre-game, post-game, game day, every day. Listen to News Talk 1310 WIBA AM and 101.5 WIBA FM. News Talk 1310 WIBA AM and 101.5 WIBA FM. Your radio home for Wisconsin athletics. Wisconsin men's hockey is facing off against cancer in partnership with JD McCormick Properties this season. These will donate $10 to the Kohl Center for every home face-off win, bringing the current total to $4,500. For more information on our partnership, visit uwbadgers.com. And now for the WMTV weather forecast.
Well, good evening,
Welcome back to the Kohl Center for the Wolverines, taking the ice with a 3-1 lead here against the Wisconsin Badgers here.
The Huskies went D1 real quick.
Yeah, not tonight's game. Both teams switching sides here. Wolverines looking to keep this lead going here to try to split the series. Badgers trying to get a quick fight here and get one early into the second period. Scarfoni still at net for the Badgers after the change halfway through the first.
And again, we're starting this 4-on-4 after the cross-checking penalties at the very tail end of last period. Got to clean those up if you're Michigan.
Good reminder there. TJ Hughes won the draw. Halem brings it into the zone. Truscott controls at the blue line. Throws it across for a cutting TJ Hughes, who fires a spin around. Hits the pads of Scarfoni. But an offsides as he brings it back out of the zone was Halem. Quick whistle there by the lines judge as hadn't hit anyone's stick other than a Badger. Michigan keeping the same line majority out there. Switching off Hughes. Morrissey takes the draw for the Badgers but loses to Hage. Edwards controls it in the zone, throws it to Hage. Edwards over to Shifsky. Shifsky at the blue line. Finds Edwards all alone down low. Checked. Hage threw it to the man at the blue line, but there was no man there. All the way down to Stein on the fresh sheet of ice.
Wide open in front of the net. Oh my gosh.
Duke lost it behind his own net. 2-on-1. Oh. Kerr fired it wide with no one on him. Stein getting lucky there as he was still caught looking behind the net. A lot of Chuck to Tassie. Tassie on the one, Finley on the one-timer, my apologies, was unable to connect off a body.
Yeah, the Wolverines are lucky that first one was so wide it landed in Sheboygan because he was wide open in the slot with nobody covering him at all.
Edwards brings it into the zone for the Wolverines. Blotachuk chasing. Goes in a horseshoe figuration, now a full circle.
Penalties are over.
Makes a move on Blotachuk. Horbach gets out of the box all alone, but unable to get the pass. He was all by himself in the Michigan zone.
If you're Jack Horbach, you got to corral that. You have a breakaway by a good 10 feet, and you could have had a one-on-one.
Whitelaw brings it in for the Wolverines. Truscott was looking for it as Whitelaw lost control as the Badgers. Scholl tries to get it up and over and gets stopped by Truscott for the moment at the blue line, but out to Draper at center ice for the Wolverines. Whitelaw going to give it another run. The Wolverines very close to having too many men on the ice there as it was thrown at their bench. Draper chases into the Badger zone. It's flipped up. Hage has no idea. Ernestine gets it, tries to throw it out. Kept in by Tassie. Hattie, little interference there, but didn't hurt anyone in the play as it exited the zone. Badgers have to check up. Stein corrals it.
Badgers are looking very aggressive coming into the second period. Definitely being less conservative than they were in the first period of this game. They definitely want to bring this within one extremely quickly.
Fantilli tried to break into the zone for the Wolverines, but taken away by the Badgers. Dexheimer tried to go 5-hole on a little switch up there, and the Wolverines shoving Dexheimer into the net behind Stein after the whistle. It's going to draw a reaction from both sides.
Michigan-Wisconsin historically is not a storied rivalry or anything, but these teams definitely these past two games have been extremely chippy. Like, they really do not like each other.
That's that fight for the Big Ten, but also just history between these two teams. Splitting a lot of series in the past couple years. It's getting a little frustrating for both sides to not be able to take both games for standing reasons.
It's like they're both fighting, and whoever wins gets to keep the Upper Peninsula.
That would be a fun matchup. Give it back and forth every year. Both 13s going to the face-off here. Fitzgerald, Hughes waiting for puck drop. Hughes wins it. Duke, who made almost a costly error behind his net, trying to get it out of the zone for the Wolverines. Shifsky hits it up. Werner just dumps it in the zone. Shifsky chases. Hughes has it against the boards. Kuhn couldn't corral it. Duke had a slap shot from the blue line that went wide left. Hughes out to the line, tried to keep it in. Shifsky able to keep it in after a diving effort at the point.
I don't know if they over-flooded the ice or something during the Zamboni in the intermission, but we're seeing a couple players fall down with nobody around them. I don't know if they're just losing an edge or maybe it's a little wet out there, but just an interesting observation in the first 4 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, puck seems to be moving a little slow at the start of this. Badgers chasing into the Wolverines zone. Edwards makes a diving effort to get it out of the way. Edwards has the puck again. Whitelaw tried to tip it back to Edwards, thinking he was coming with speed, but the Badgers take it away. Scholl had it behind the net. Stein able to corral it as
Fight going on behind the play now.
Horbach tried to tip it at the last second, but yes, fight over on the boards there. Edwards getting chippy again.
Ethan Edwards really going to battle for his teammates this series. He's always just jostling with somebody, even whether it's on the play or completely behind it. He wants to make his physical presence known tonight.
100% there. He's been a real leader on this team, and it shows why. Morrissey and Draper going to the circle as Fire Burning is just blaring.
Dude, this was in like 2008. This was my jam. I knew every word to this song. Sean Kingston's a legend. What happened to that guy?
I have zero idea. I haven't heard the name in a while.
He did Eeny Meeny with Justin Bieber and then was like, I have enough money. I'm good. I'm going to go back to Jamaica.
Truscott called it on the Badgers there for the early stick drop. Got the change. Wolverines win that one. Halem gets it off a kick to Palatichuk. Effort by himself down there. Draper finally joins him, but overskates the puck as the Badgers come up the zone. Kerr hits a Badger in stride, and it goes in, I believe. Quinn Finley nets one here for the Badgers to make it 3-2 and only a 1-goal deficit now, which a great leading shot there.
What an effort by Quinn Finley, the homegrown Wisconsinite, third-round pick by the Islanders, just completely outskated the Michigan defense and were able to backhand that in right through the 5-hole of Logan Stein, as now it looks like there's an issue with Logan Stein's net. The peg won't go in or something, but incredible effort there by Finley to really just perfectly place that puck to give them bring their advantage to 1 instead of 2.
A little energy back in here. 15-14 left in the second. 3-2. Michigan trying to hold on to a lead as Tassi and LaPointe get a little separated here as they've been going at each other all night. Lindmark leaning halfway over the circle. Estapa still finds a way to win that draw. New Mullen throws it into the zone for the Wolverines. Estapa throws it right back around. New Mullen throws it down. Scholes clears the zone on a high arcing pass. New Mullen throws it too far down the ice. Estapa was going to check back up, unable to corral. And it will be icing on the Wolverines.
And Michigan is actually leading in the shot department, but the shots are only 8-7, which is polar opposite of what we saw last night, where there were about 30 to 40 shots combined already by halfway through the second period. So definitely a lower attack game for both teams here, but more of a defensive battle for the most part.
Stoppa goes up against Fitzgerald at the point here. Badgers win it, but unable to get it. Michigan 2-on-2 here. Ernestine, LaPointe, More Badgers come to join the effort. Tyson Dick able to get it there. Estapa with his hand keeps it in the zone. The point fighting at the line. Both players lose a glove. Ernest gets out of the zone. Estapa, the enforcer, threw a late check there. Badgers tried to wrap around one there.
Getting chippy. It looks like a yard sale. There's gloves on the ice, sticks, everything.
Fitzgerald tried to stab that one in. And then a quick shot at the point. Wolverines tried to get to that puck. A lot of shots on goal here by the Badgers. Shifsky thrown to the ice at his own blue line as Hughes is chasing Werner there as well. The Wolverines, another mistake. Morrissey showing him up. Pumped on the brakes for no reason with a one-on-one that he had beat.
Yeah, that was almost on every highlight reel for a decade. He was about to spin him out of his shoes and just inexplicably stopped.
Mosley got it across. Glodachuk throws it back into the zone. Fantilli there for the Wolverines. Morrissey had it for a second. Wolverines picked his pocket and trying to hit in stride Shifsky, but kind of let up at the last second as he throws another big hit into Care. Hughes down low, gets it across to his teammates. Whitelaw.
I feel like I'm watching old school Habs versus Bruins with how physical this game has become.
Horkoff lost it at the blue line. Edwards rode the back of Patella there. Horkoff just out of his reach, going to be an icing for a tired Wolverines squad here.
Almost an amazing complete cross-ice pass to Horkoff there. Just a foot out of his reach, or he would have had a wide open lane to the net, assuming the Wisconsin defense doesn't catch up.
12:50 left in the second period. Ethan Edwards still chirping at the Badgers players there as he's not enjoying what they're giving him right now. Page draw to Lindmark. And a quick shot from the blue line.
As we get the most uneven version of Sweet Caroline I've ever heard, where half the arena is on one end and the other half is about 3 lyrics behind him.
The shot was from Hensler at the blue line, but Stein able to corral it in his glove side, and they kind of gave up on Sweet Caroline there. I'm not
Yeah, sorry, not to interrupt your flow there with my very important color analysis there.
Off a Wolverine player in the front on the quick shot there by the Badgers and all the way down the ice. Botterill was the shot there, and he came back and got his own puck outside. Lindmark puts it in the zone, just out though past Tassi, waiting at the blue line. Hensler, number 6 for the Badgers, threw it back up. Tassi over the blue line. Botterill trying to corral a bouncing puck. Truscott able to get it down low. Captain on captain there. Halem threw it deep into his own zone. Draper unable to get it. Page off his skates over to Halem. 3-on-3, but they're just going to dump and chase here as Ernest trying to show off some speed. Getting aggressive there. Duke playing at center ice, which is a rarity. Puck sitting in the Badgers zone. Saved at the line by Estapa. Looking like an outfielder tonight. Tries to take a wrister on the left point, but unable.
Estapa looked like he was trying to try out for center fielder for the Tigers on that one. He jumped about 2 feet in the air, showing off that vertical to absolutely nab that puck right out of midair to keep it in the zone. Fortunately, then shot it, or it was deflected, sorry, over the net. So no chance came of that, but great effort there by Marcus Estapa.
Estapa, a seasoned veteran on this Wolverines team, trying to have his enforcer kind of more into a leadership role this year as his penalty minutes are always up, but thankfully taking a couple less than last season at this point through.
St. Clair, Michigan legend, Marcus Estapa.
Exactly. Wolverines win the draw, but goes out of the Badgers zone. Hughes tries to get it back, turns it over to care of the Badgers, who dumps it into the zone with chase from Mosley. care at the blue line. Fires an awkward shot that hit Mosley in the back in front of the net. Morrissey tried to
Again,
put one
there's
up
that
there.
backdoor shot. They're just leaving him wide open.
Leaving him wide open. Finley was just waiting in the crease for that and unable to connect as he fired it wide. Mosley tries to hit him again. The Badgers are recognizing that this crease is wide open. Finley kept it in the zone. Morrissey plays it down low up against Raheem Mullen. Shifsky just gets it out of the zone, gives his guys a breather, and a whole line change here. Goes across. Finley was sneaking and cherry picking at the blue line for that cross ice pass. But Horkoff overwhelms the Badgers to get it out of the zone. Horkoff dumping chase to himself. Got held up a little bit there. Edwards missed the puck, kind of flailed on it. Dexheimer takes it, flips it out of the zone. Ernest at the Michigan blue line, able to corral. Horkoff looking a little flustered in front of the Michigan bench. Went for the ankles of Dexheimer as the puck had already gone across the blue line. Clearest offsides I've seen in a while from the young man Horkoff, and he's a newer part of this team, and he's got a little bit to learn as he can't just bulldoze as he did in the U.S. development team.
Yeah, in Big Ten hockey, you got to be a little bit more fine with that. You can't just brawl your way to the top. You can do a little bit of it, but it's not going to, you got to expand your wheelhouse, if you will.
Well, Draper taking the draw against Landmark.
Shots have been tied at 8-8 for about 5 minutes here. Neither team, they've had chances, but just not any on net. They've either been deflected or just missed the net straight up.
A completely different game plan from last evening here. Just crossing over the 10-minute mark into the period. 9:50 left in the second. 3-2 Michigan. Tassi plays it for the Badgers. Gave it over to Whitelaw, who is stick handling. Felicio lets one go, but off a skate. Draper had a chance at a one-timer, but unable. Tassi using his speed against Felicio. Gets it into the Michigan zone and kind of controls it as Felicio, small but mighty on the boards, takes him down.
The defensemen for both teams are going to have their ankles be purple tomorrow with how many shots they're blocking.
Truscott, the captain, took one off the back there. Good blocking. It clears the zone as Halem chases. A lot of pushing and shoving early on here. Felicio still out there. Clears the zone as the Badgers tried to make another aggressive push. Looking on Finley. And it's pushed in. The hero from last night, Christian Fitzgerald, gets another here. In his 101st game of his college career. 3 points, 2 nights.
And for some reason, it really just looked like the Michigan defense kind of stopped on the play. It almost looked like a coach running him through a drill. It was tic-tac-toe. He had just the clearest lane, the two of them, right to the net, and were able to just completely circle it around Logan Stein and put it right behind his back right leg. And so that was a really easy goal for the Badgers. I don't know why Michigan kind of fell asleep there in defense.
Tyson Dick credited with the assist there as he threw the first one on net. Stein thought he had it under that right pad, but did not. An easy goal there for Fitzgerald to make it 3-3. 8:55 left in the second. Estapa loses the faceoff to Mosley.
Michigan trying to avoid another collapse like we set their heads in this and can't give up.
I would be disappointed if we drove 6 hours for 2 nights of collapsing. If you're going to get a lead, keep a lead. As the Wolverines win a puck back in their zone, LaPointe makes an effort to get it all the way down, but it's unfortunately going to be icing again for the Wolverines here.
Wisconsin goals, number 13, Christian Fitzgerald. Then the assist to number 9, Kyle Kukanen. After goals, number 13.
All right, they give the assist not to Tyson Dick, they're going to give it to Kukanen. Interesting.
It's interesting as Tyson Dick had the original shot or poke at the right pad, but Fitzgerald ultimately gets that goal here.
Definitely interesting that he doesn't even get an assist on that, but I am not a scorekeeper, so I will defer to their judgment.
We just announced, unfortunately. Edwards, after a failed Badger shot that went wide, threw it around but lost control. Fitzgerald throws it over to Hensler. Dick back in action, throws it to the left side of Stein. Threw it back to the crease, no one home.
He wants that goal for sure. He skated through 3 defensemen and took a shot right on the net with nobody in front of him.
He's an aggressive player that makes some plays for this team, and he's in the assist column more than the goal column, but would love to get both evened up. Werner on the boards.
Ottawa Senators used a 7th-round pick on Tyson Dick, and judging by what we've seen with his time as Wisconsin, they might get a bargain for that. If he can keep this up, he'll probably play for Binghamton next year in the AHL, and definitely looking towards being NHL potential, even as a 7th-round, 206th overall.
Speaking of NHL, Jack Phelan, the Red Wings draft pick, threw it up and out of play for another stoppage here. We're getting the other under 10 media timeout real quick here on Alumni Night, and Wolverines collapsing yet again right now, and
not a full collapse yet, but
not yet.
Kind of looking along those lines. It reminds me a lot of what we saw last night in the 3rd period. We're only in the 2nd period with 7:30 remaining. However, it's the same kind of vibe. They had a 2-goal lead, and they, on defense, I don't know the terminology I want to use here. They're like falling asleep almost on defense. I don't know if they're just getting beat out there offensively. It really doesn't look like it. They aren't being outskated or anything. They just are letting Wisconsin pretty much do whatever they want, letting them skate through them, and need to get more aggressive, poke check, put the body on them, do something. You can't give them the back door right in front of the net, the slot. You're giving them the prime location. Make them take a shot from the goal line or the hash marks along the boards. Make it an uncomfortable shot where they're going to have to make something happen.
Yeah, the Wolverines need to fire up a little bit here if they're going to keep and try to split the series here. And a lot of alumni here from the Badgers hockey team. Sitting to our left, their radio calling is 2 alumni players, but Alumni Night here in town, and the fans love both the current and the past, especially when it comes to the legends in the last couple years.
Where's Chris Chelios? Why is he not here? What is he doing? Get to Alumni Night, Chris. You're wanted in Madison.
He's on the top of the list to be here. Unfortunately, is not. That's why we bought the tickets all the way out here. Dexheimer threw it around for the Badgers. Hattie in a scrum down low. TJ Hughes ultimately gets the poke check out of there. Over to Shifsky at the blue line. Unable to get it. Hattie throws it back into zone. Stein paying attention as Badger was chasing, and that's Captain Lindmark, and he was trying to get a poke check in there between Stein's pads. But a stoppage of play here, 7:12 to go.
And we've seen Wisconsin now take the lead in shots, 11-8. Michigan still has 8, so I don't, either they've had 1 shot all period or 0. I can't remember if it was 8 or 7, and forgive me. But Wisconsin pulling away on the shots is what we saw last night, and when they do that, they play better. Because, I mean, more pucks on net, that gives you more opportunities for a goal. That's just the ABCs of hockey, really.
For sure there. Finley, quick snapshot off the draw, off right.
Also, Wisconsin has about 20 more shots that they have just missed the net on. They're having a little bit of trouble hitting the cage tonight.
Fantilli, well, tonight back active in this lineup after a night of rest. Throws it out. Hage was looking for a pass. Dangerous knee-on-knee play there. Looking in the zone. Fantilli pinning a Badger against the boards. Ernestine trying to get the puck, and he does successfully. Clears the blue line into neutral ice, just chases and dumps to himself. 2 Wolverines were waiting. Hage and Horkoff unable to connect with either of them as he had his head down in the corner. Trying to get it across, but Horkoff comes and corrals it. Quick shot there at the low pads, waiting for Hage to get a tip in on Scarfoni, but unable to, and out of play on the deflection.
I'll give him one thing. This period has been a lot more fine in terms of not taking penalties. Both teams are playing a lot less, I don't want to use the term stupid, but they're not losing their temper or cool here. They're remaining very calm and collected and not taking unnecessary penalties to put the other team on an advantage.
Yeah, after a hot start here with 3 goals in the first 10, we've kind of simmered down and just casually added a couple more to the scoreboard. Draper kicked out of the circle, so was Fitzgerald, so we will have Whitelaw against Tyson Dick for the draw. Dick wins the draw. Scholes behind his own net, throws it up to Fitzgerald. Great stop there by Halem of the Wolverines in center ice with his hand to bring it back in the zone. Draper checked hard against the board. Whitelaw tried to pick it out. Now has to chase. Duke up against the boards, holds it into the zone. Now throws it across. Another great effort play there by the Wolverines. Halem 2 times keeping it in the zone, but unable to connect as it went off a skate on his weak shot attempt.
Another shot block. Oh my gosh. Keenan Draper just sent somebody into the Wisconsin bench.
Whitelaw disappointed that his stick is being dragged across the ice by Fitzgerald.
I don't know how that's not a penalty. I'm not going to lie.
It should be, and he was just not happy. Truscott brings it across in the distraction. Raymond Mullen over to Truscott. Werner was in front, and it's tipped and up and out of play, and that's disgraceful. And Naruto was getting in his ear over there as he was getting held to the ground trying to get his own stick.
Yeah, like in an unbiased way, you can't rip the stick out of your opponent's hand with your hands.
No, and then carrying it across the blue line is a little much. And the Wolverines rightfully mad as they've gotten 3 interference penalties in this game, so they want to see one there, and it's just not happening for Fitzgerald. So still 5-on-5, 5:15 left to play, 3-3. Michigan loses the draw in the offensive zone. Dexheimer flips it up and over. Truscott tried to play with his hand, unable to, kicks it with his skate over to Hattie. Estapa is chasing into the Michigan zone as it crossed over the blue line. Moldenhauer takes it from the feet of a ref. Truscott makes a mistake, misses a puck. Tassi flares on a wide open net. I'm not even going to lie. There was
left
so
side of the
much
cage
net.
was wide open. He just missed the net. If he puts it an foot to the left or right, sorry, he has an easy goal there. Stein was way out of position.
Truscott making mistakes as the captain. It's going to happen every now and then, but that could have been costly for the Wolverines. Shifsky chases in the Badger zone. Hughes tries to knock it out of the air, unable to. Fantilli in the Michigan zone. Edwards down low below the goal crease. Pieta against Edwards down low. The Badgers get it across. Kerr tried to get it across to the crease. No Badger was home without a defender. Shifsky gets it up, shoots it left off the blocker. The Wolverines get the puck taken out of the zone down into their own defensive zone. Fantilli controls it, now loses it, turns it over. Luckily, Horkoff and Duke got a stick on it. Horkoff bringing it into the zone by himself as Michigan makes a change. Duke waiting at the blue line. Horkoff still down low. Michigan's change is successful. Mosley, the assistant captain, takes it in, fires a shot, stick save to the right-hand side of Stein. Duke taking a little pressure at the upper half of his helmet. Horkoff missing yet another pass for an icing on the Wolverines as Duke wanted a change desperately.
And in what has been an extremely physical game, to me it seems like we're seeing the first signs of fatigue from both teams here, where the pace of play is getting a little slower. The guys behind the play might be doing a little bit of coasting. They just seem like they're absolutely beat down, and not just in terms of their legs, but their bodies too. We need some ice baths after this one for both teams.
Yeah, the back-to-back nights always seem to get late into the second. You're going to be feeling a little sore. Badgers won the draw, kept it in the zone. Tyson Dick trying to get another goal. Tries to go short side on Stein, who overcorrected, and luckily it flew out of the zone. The Wolverines Could have been down one there with Stein on his heels.
The second half of this second period has just been completely in the Michigan defensive zone. They really got to get something going.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, a little spinorama down deep in the corner, trying to hit Dick for a tip in front of the net. Thank God we are not on the radio, as that could have been flagged. Hallam keeps in the zone for the Wolverines. Truscott looking tired. Didn't even want to play the puck. Now brings it off the zone. Truscott throws it around. Edwards at the blue line.
Ooh, looked like he missed that one a
Controls
little
it,
bit.
but they're going to look at it if anything happens in this zone. Edwards keeps it there. Draper was chasing, and now the Badgers clear the zone. Edwards goes after
This
it.
might be an icing. Now they're going to wave it off.
Truscott was there as well. LaPointe brings it up center ice. Whitelaw crosses him. Draper waiting for the puck. Throws it back down to LaPointe. Over to Whitelaw. Duke at the line. Draper from the Big Ten logo.
A couple players tied up right in the crease.
LaPointe and Phelan down low. LaPointe's been in everything today. And now we're getting a trip on the captain, Lindmark. Back-to-back nights with penalties for tripping. Delayed penalty here for the Badgers, and the Wolverines are going to try and retain possession as it goes out of the zone.
Logan Stein made it all the way on the far change of the bench, so they're going to have 6-on-5 if they can keep it away from the Wisconsin players.
And that's just not going to do it for the Wolverines. They throw it in the zone for a chase.
Especially, this is the last thing you want with a power play. It's 57.8 seconds, so this power play is going to be cut directly in half almost.
Draper was slew-footed down below the goal crease, and Michigan going to get a one-man advantage here with 57.8 left in the second period. Crowd booing because LaPointe took down Phelan in front of the net at the same time all this was happening, and not happy about that, but LaPointe's been going at everyone all night, so the refs are going to just let that play until it becomes involved in the actual play going on.
As we said earlier with LaPointe, very quiet last night unusually, and definitely complete opposite tonight, making his presence felt both on the stat sheet and in the physical game as well.
And Lindmark, this is his one problem as the Florida Panthers draft pick. His penalty minutes have been up as of recently. Michigan wins the draw but throws it out of the zone on an errant pass. Edwards brings it up in center ice. TJ Hughes just across the blue line tries to corral it. Out of the zone for the Wolverines. Hage back to retrieve it against Morrissey. Werner now brings it into the zone. Great voice crack there.
Happens to the best of us.
Hage at the line. Edwards, one-timer from the point, and Scarfoni.
What a shot, and better save by Scarfoni.
Gobbled it out there, and there's no chance he was getting that one in the net.
Same theme we've seen where it was just set up in Ovechkin's office in the opposite circle. Had a wicked one-timer there. Great job by Scarfoni to get at the other side of the crease extremely quickly.
Wolverines, 23.4 left. Trying to capitalize maybe before the end of the period on this penalty. Down low, Hage. Edwards keeps it in off of a tip. Threw it across, no one was home for the Wolverines. 7 seconds left to go. Werner trying to make one last push. TJ Hughes not looking at the clock, doesn't know. 2, 1.
Gotta shoot it.
Had no idea, and that's going to be the end of the period. Shots 11-11, score 3-3 after 2 with 1:03 remaining on the captain Lindmark's penalty. Pretty even game, and the score reflects it finally, and that's the first time we've said that in this two-game series. So one more to play. Hopefully one of the teams can make a little offensive stand here.
Shots are 11-11. My 11-11 wish is for Michigan to be more aggressive. They're definitely sitting back and letting Wisconsin take control, which is why this game is completely even. They cleaned up the penalty problems in that period, the only penalty being to Wisconsin. But you got to be aggressive. You can't just sit back and just hope Wisconsin makes a mistake. You got to make the opportunities happen yourself.
Yep, and that's going to do it by play-by-play for me. Zach will take back over in the third period. I'll go on the color, but we'll be back in 10 minutes for the third period action from the Michigan Wolverines against the Wisconsin Badgers.
And Steve Alumni embodies everything it means to be a Badger. From his days as a national champion, to his lifelong commitment to this program, Steve has left an indelible mark on all of us. His name stands proudly in our locker room and our offices, not just as a reminder of the championships won, but as a symbol of passion, hard work, and what it means to wear Wisconsin letters. When Steve talks about Wisconsin hockey, you can feel the disappointment.
7 championship team. You know, I'll just say it's the greatest college hockey team ever, in my opinion. And I can say that, as any one of the rest of you can say that. The reason we can say that is because we won.
Steve, thank you for a lifetime of service to Wisconsin hockey. Tonight, we celebrate you and everything it means to be a Badger.
Presenting the Ronald Andrega Alumni Award is Dr. Connie Andrega, Ronald's father. Badger fans, welcome back to the Kohl Center, Steve Alley. This award recognizes men's hockey alumni for their support of the Wisconsin hockey program. Steve is a 2-time national champion, an Olympian, NHL player, and UW Athletics Hall of Famer. Thank you, Steve, for all that you do and representing what it means to be a true Badger. Fans, let's hear it for Steve Alley. Working band in America, their University of Wisconsin band. Join us in one of Wisconsin's finest traditions, the singing of our time on Varsity. It's time for period number 3. Are you ready? Now, here comes
Welcome back to the Kohl Center, everybody. We are live from America's Dairyland, Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Zach Warshaw alongside Eddie Olejniczak. Sorry, I butchered your name there, brother.
All good.
Switching roles here, I'm going to take over on play-by-play for the third period as we got a riveting matchup here, tied 3-3 as we start the final frame. Michigan looking to split the series here against the Badgers, and the Badgers looking to take 2 against the number 10 ranked team in the nation as we get ready to go here and the puck is dropped. Wisconsin's going to win the face-off and immediately just dump it into the Michigan end. It's going to be stopped by Logan Stein behind the Michigan net. Taken the other way now by Draper. Ethan Edwards, 73, now 33. Edwards will send it over to Hughes. Hughes back to Edwards. He'll just ring it around the left-hand side. Picked up in the left D. Over to Warner on the right side. Back to the D. Over to the right side again for Hughes. Steps up. Pass it down below. Blocked by a Wisconsin Badger stick. Tied up, and Wisconsin's going to get possession and send this one down. 25 seconds remaining on the penalty for the Badgers. They try to kill this. Michigan, time for about one last rush. Taken by Michael Hage, cross ice over the blue line, gets tied up by a couple of Badgers, and Tommy Scarfoni just going to grab this one and freeze the puck for a face-off with about 15 seconds remaining in that penalty.
Michigan just kind of unable to set anything up in the rest of this penalty. That could have went their advantage, try to get one up early going into the third, as would be a little PTSD, same score from yesterday. But Michigan just kind of getting unlucky with some passes, getting tipped right in the crease, and honestly not finding the crease too often in these power play moments.
You're getting really tied up and not able to really put any full things together. They got like 80% of an offensive attack. They just need to find the last 20 as that faceoff's won by the Badgers and will immediately be cleared as the time will trickle off that penalty. We'll be back to even strength in about 4 seconds here, 1 minute into this third period. Taken up ice now by Tyler Duke. Across the blue line into Wisconsin end. He'll go behind the net looking for anybody. Backhands it back to the left D. Over to the right side for Moldenhauer. Moldenhauer sends it, didn't make it to the net, was blocked by a few people. That was Whitelaw, not Moldenhauer, apologies. Wisconsin will take over possession now and take it the other way. Through the neutral zone now are the Badgers. Across the blue line into the Michigan end. It's Ryan Botterill with it for the Badgers over in the left end as he loses possession. Passed up ahead by the Wolverines, however, looked like TJ Hughes was not looking there, and so it'll be an icing call, and we'll have to go back down to the other end for a face-off to the left of Logan Stein. The right of Logan Stein. I know my directions, don't worry about it.
You want to hold up your hands and double check? Yeah, Draper just not expecting the pass there. Neutral ice, not a lot of time spent in it so far in this first minute and a half, which is different for the flow of the past 2 games and 2 periods in this series.
Face-off won by the Badgers. Quinn Finley has it in the left corner. Michigan is going to steal the puck and then just send it down the ice immediately for another icing, so we'll do that all over again. Michigan has been good about not icing the puck every 5 seconds, like I said at the beginning of the game. That was a big problem for them last night that led to them just being gassed by the end, which we saw them look lackadaisical, but it was really just because they had nothing left in the tank. But they've done a good job of avoiding that tonight. Yeah,
they must have heard us all the way from up here asking for we love the stoppages, but I don't like stoppages every 10 seconds.
Yeah. Face-off won by the Wolverines. We'll just throw it off the boards and now as it lands in the neutral zone. Dexheimer for the Badgers sends it up for Rylan Mosley. Mosley unable to corral that and will trickle into the corner for Tyler Duke to go get back for the Wolverines. Sent behind the net, a couple players battling now, 2 Badgers and 2 Wolverines for it. Finally, Mosley has possession, loses the puck immediately to Tyler Duke. Left-hand corner of the Michigan defensive zone, no one can really get control of it. But now Michigan will, and they're send it down the ice, but they're going to say it was tipped, so there's no icing here as Scarfoni stops it behind the Badger cage.
Lucky break there for the Wolverines.
Lost the puck, the Badgers did. Oh, tried to send it ahead for, couldn't see what number that was. Michigan has it in the Wisconsin zone. Ethan Edwards has it up at the blue line. Left-hand side, creeping down, Scott to his right. Sends it over to him on the right D. Takes a shot from the point, never made it to the net. Looked like it hit the leg of a Wolverine down there. As it's in, now it's in the neutral zone. Tyler Duke has it, or sorry, Truscott. Sent up the boards and now in the neutral zone, both teams fighting for possession. Warner has it, loses it to Tyson Dick, who we've heard a lot of the name of tonight. Pass it ahead. No one really got a hand on that. Wisconsin still has it in the zone, though. Shot from the top of the slot. Blocked, never made it to the net. That shot was by Zach Schultz. And now Michigan will get it and just send it up. Will be tipped again, so it's not going to be icing as it goes the full length of the ice, and Zach Schultz goes to collect. In the Wisconsin end now. Schultz just sends it up to the neutral zone. That'll be Scholl with it. Over to left. Shot from the point, went off the right pad. A lot of power on that from the point. However, Logan Stein, good stop, as Michigan will again clear it. Won't make it all the way. They're going to call off the icing. Wisconsin sends it up. They ice the puck, but that is deflected as well. So now we're just throwing it length of the ice both ways. Nick Moldenhauer now finally gains possession for the Wolverines. He takes it the other way. Across the blue line into the Wisconsin zone on the left side of the net. Puts the brakes on, trying to find anyone. Sends it back to the D. Was intended for Horkoff, but he couldn't get a handle on that. It goes into the centralized zone, and Michigan will just dump it and change a few players here.
A lot of aggression here by the Badgers that kind of turns into Michigan fast breaks, and that's what they've been thriving off of and keeping themselves in this 3-3 game.
Michigan now with possession in their own end. Sends it up for Michael Hage. Michael Hage sends it over to Moldenhauer in front of the net. Shot! What a stop by Scarfoni. Second chance opportunity. Moldenhauer, another shot, blocks on the right side. He was open back door. Diving attempt by Jack Horbach there to block the shot, and he came through. What a stop by the Badger defense all around.
And you can hear the crowd. They don't care about that icing. Scarfoni, this is why he's their top goaltender, even if he was taken out yesterday. He made 2 back-to-back incredible saves, 1 deflection off as well. And he keeps this game tied for no other reason than his effort.
One shot from the top of the left circle, and then an immediate another one from the top of the right circle by Moldenhauer. And Horbach definitely sacrificed the body on that one. So Michigan wins the faceoff. Immediate shot off the post. Not going to go at a player to land on the left side. What a shot there by Jackson Halem. Just an inch lower would have been in the net. Michigan still has it in the right corner of the Wisconsin end. Looking for something is Ethan Edwards. Lots of pressure on him by the Wisconsin defense, Ryan Botterill. Now Dexheimer has it. He'll just send it around the other end. And that one's going to roll up the glass and out of play. So they're going to have a face-off to the right of Scarfoni.
It's a lot of pressure by the Wolverines. They kind of bit them in the behind yesterday when they started getting a little too aggressive, but they want to get this one early and then sit on a lead again, which they've been doing a lot in this series, and it hasn't played out right. They finally want to get that chance, and the Badgers struggling to just get out of the defensive zone. They can't get this center ice that they've been thriving on for the first 2 periods of today.
Keenan Draper will set off for the face-off against Gavin Morrissey. We haven't seen it heard a lot of from Wisconsin tonight, despite having that +16, which is one of the best plus-minuses in NCAA. Almost got thrown out of the face-off there as they redo it. 15-10 remaining in this 3rd period, still a 3-3 game. Michigan heavy on the attack so far, trying to get a 1-goal advantage and not fall behind like they did last night. Michigan keeps it in the zone with the face-off win. Loses the puck, though, and Wisconsin will take it out. Flipped over to the left for Ben Dexheimer. Dexheimer will just send it in. Logan Stein will corral it behind his own net. Along the boards is Warner. He'll send it left side. Was intended for Truscott, but it kind of just bounced off his skate and will trickle into the Wisconsin zone for them to collect. Both teams just sending it across ice now. Back to Logan Stein on his end. Michigan has possession in their own defensive zone. They'll try and send it out. Can't get it fully out of the zone as they just start doing laps, trying to get everything set up. Finally, they're onto the neutral zone now. It'll be Garrett Shifsky with it. He'll take it over the blue line and lose the puck immediately. Hunter Haiti will send it in. However, they're going to have to regroup as that was a delayed offside, so Wisconsin's behind their own net with it now. Left-hand side of the ice now. It's going to be Joe Polotishuk with it as he'll just dump it into the zone as the Wisconsin defenders make a change. So Will Horkoff has it for Michigan in their own zone. Through the center ice now, over the blue line. It's going to be Michael Hage with it on the left-hand side. Michael Hage puts the brakes on and creeps up to the left. How's Warner over the left-hand side. Shot! Blocker saved by Scarfoni. Fantilli now has it up the right side. Horkoff over to left D. Hage top of the slot. Shot! Great screen there by Shifsky. However, better blocker save by Scarfoni. Horkoff's now tied up with 2 Badgers in the left corner. Nobody can get possession. Finally, Wisconsin does. Looking for anything. Doesn't really have anybody. It's Tyson Dick with it. He'll finally cross the blue line in the center ice zone and just dump the puck. That immediately hits someone on the bench, so they're going to blow it dead. 13:25 remaining in the 3rd. Michigan leading the shot department 15-12. Game still tied 3-3.
This is the pressure that we've seen the Wolverines do in past seasons that they've kind of been lacking on this season. They've been staying in a lot of close games, and the ref just blew a tire going to get a new puck here. And
it's always rough to see. Never want to do that if you're the ref.
Yeah, it's unexpected, and he's checking himself out right now, wondering what went on. But as I was saying, they've been an aggressive team the past 2-3 seasons under Dorado, and they're really waiting for that to come back. And here we're finally seeing a glimpse.
Michigan's going to win the faceoff in the neutral zone and immediately just dumped in by Tyler Duke. Horkoff behind the net, wraparound opportunity. Tried to get Scarfoni napping, but wasn't able to as he stopped that puck. And Wisconsin now takes it the other way. It's going to be Jack Horbach with it on the left boards. Tied up there by 2 Wolverines. Tyler Duke will finally take it away and send it the other way. Marcus Stappa, 94, not 44. Behind the Wisconsin net now. He's with 3 Badgers, so he's going to lose the puck as Wisconsin now takes it the other way through center ice. They'll just send it in to make a change here. Hunter Haiti has it behind the Michigan cage. Where's the puck?
It bounced off the netting, and the ref did not notice.
It bounced off the netting, and the ref didn't blow it for about 4 seconds, so everyone was just kind of standing there. Sorry about that. So they'll hit the net, and we'll have a face-off in the Michigan defensive zone.
Badgers finally getting out of their own zone, and it was a strong entrance into the zone across the blue line, which they've been struggling with all night. A lot more offsides than we've seen in the past couple series for them as a whole, which is good to see that communication is back on track.
Absolutely. Wisconsin wins the face-off. Oh my gosh, Anthony Kerr was setting up for the one-timer of a lifetime, but they're going to blow that dead and redo the face-off. Ref saw something he didn't like.
That
was either going top shelf or was going to absolutely shatter William Whitelaw's shin. So good for Michigan getting a break there, as now they win the second face-off, so definitely got a break there. Whitelaw now has it. He'll attempt to make a pass over to Draper, however miss him by about a foot. Send back the other way, and Whitelaw gets it again. Now sent up to the right side, again for Draper. He'll just pass it ahead into the Wisconsin zone. Wisconsin now has possession in their own end as they'll just send it the other way. Won't be enough for icing, so they'll have to go back and collect. Ethan Edwards does that for the Wolverines. Caught up in some feet in center ice. No one can get possession. Finally, Wisconsin does. Michigan now has it. Whitelaw takes an immediate shot from the top of the slot that was about 5 feet wide to the left, so no shot on goal there. Left side hash mark against the boards in the Wisconsin end. 2 players for each team fighting for it. Finally, it pops out and Wisconsin gets possession. Brian Boderow loses it, though, so Michigan is able to keep it in the end, in the Wisconsin end. Finally, Wisconsin will steal it and just shoot it out of the zone and get a quick change here, fresh legs. Now Michigan defense will do the same thing. They'll just dump it in and change. Kept in the Wisconsin end, though, is Whitelaw with it against the boards behind the net now. Warner has it. Warner, right turnaround shot. Score! Warner did an absolute, like the longest wraparound shot right off of Ben Dexheimer's left foot. And that's going to trickle into the net, and they're going to call that a goal. Put Michigan up 4-3 with 11:36 remaining.
And the Wolverines needed that. They've been firing at the shot, and like you said earlier, it's the old saying, you throw them on net, one will eventually go in. And for the Wolverines, just a little trickler after the first initial stop is what got that. And now up 4-3 with 11 to go. Got to stay on the offensive, though. They can't settle for going lackadaisical again and getting into this rhythm where we saw what happens last night. And just
what a pinball move. Great goal there by Evan Warner, the player from the hockey hotbed of the South, Flower Mound, Texas. But he definitely got some help there as it bounced off about 2 Badger skates and trickled into the net. Nevertheless, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and Michigan has 4 to Wisconsin's 3 with just over 11 to go in this third. Wisconsin now has it in the Michigan end. They pass to the D, but nobody is there, so they'll have to go back to center ice and regroup. Fallon now has it for the Badgers. Will send it ahead, intended for Ryan Mosley, who has it in the left corner. He's absolutely surrounded by 2 Wolverines, and Will Horkoff will take it away and head the other way for Michigan. Tied up in the center ice zone. Gavin Morrissey steals the puck. Heads over the blue line, right into the Michigan defense waiting for him, so nothing doing there. Trying to get possession. A couple players battling at the top of the left circle. Finally, Nick Moldenhauer is able to send it out just enough for Michigan to change, and Wisconsin will have to regroup here.
Michigan very lucky there. Almost had 7 men on the ice when it was thrown towards their bench. Hattie and Haig jumped right back over very quickly. It's smart heads-up play.
Still on the Michigan end here. Players are battling for possession. A couple players fighting behind the net. Can't believe this is not a penalty on either team. The refs are just going to let them go as Michigan goes the other way now. It'll be TJ Hughes with it. Hughes sends it ahead. Warner with a shot. Almost a chance for a second goal right there. He sent it just over the net as Wisconsin now takes it the other way. Couldn't get past the Michigan defense with Tyson Dick.
There.
As now Hughes takes it back over the blue line into Wisconsin end. Sends it length of the ice for Tyler Duke. Oh, Duke sent it over for a one-timer on the other end, but it wasn't able to make it all the way there. Stopped by the Wisconsin defense. Warner still in the Wisconsin zone. Only one there, though, as the rest of the team is making a change. He gives to Michael Hage, who enters the zone. Shot from the top of the slot. Didn't make it to the net. Blocked by a shin of somebody. And Wisconsin will take possession in the left corner with nobody else there. And they'll just send it ahead, and that'll be an icing. That was a lot really fast.
It was. I think Ernest honestly stopped the goal there, and he did it correctly by just putting his stick out there without diving all the way forward, getting that trip call. And his speed, he's kind of been the sleeper player for this team for a couple years now, and I think this season he's really been able to shine on the lines he's been put on. And that speed, he loves to show it off when he can get a snapshot off.
The transfer from St. Thomas decided to join the Big Ten hockey. He definitely fits in real well. Wisconsin's going to win the faceoff in their own zone, and they'll just send it out to mid-ice, which is a weird. Tyson Dick caught the puck and then was hit and just laid on the ground with the puck still in his hand. And it'll be sent back into Wisconsin end. However, Wisconsin still has possession of it. Kept in the zone. Finally be out in the center ice region now as both teams fighting for possession. It'll trickle into the Michigan zone as Wisconsin makes a change, and so Ethan Edwards will be back to collect it. And now Michael Hage will head the other way for the Wolverines. Big hit there. Michael Hage almost went soaring into the Wisconsin bench as he tried to dump it in and change. Wisconsin has it in their own end. Sent ahead to center ice. Again, dumped in by the Badgers. It'll be Quinn Finley trying to chase it. Passed ahead. Shot attempt. Very quick there by Anthony Kerr. tried to go through the legs, nothing doing. Wisconsin still has it. Far side of the ice, Ryan Boderil. Again on the goal line. He'll just take a shot from the goal line. It'll be easily be covered by Logan Stein. Not a high chance opportunity there. Completely vertical with the goalpost.
Yeah, not something you see often there. Naranjo got a little worked up on the bench. You could hear him from the second deck all the way up here, and he was yelling at the Badgers to stop hitting in between the two benches. He's tired of seeing his players laying on the ice, and that's been a problem for a couple of those icings in this period, was they were trying to make connection passes with a player just laying straight down. So
yeah,
even though
we've seen
Michigan's
a
up
lot
one,
of aggression in between the two benches with players getting on and off, just absolutely running into a brick wall as soon as they do with someone laying a hit.
I wouldn't be shocked if LaPointe gets a penalty here in the next couple minutes, because he's been running hot and he's been throwing some down in the crease, and he hasn't been happy with the last two times. Him and Shifsky have been collided with at mid-ice.
And Estapa. They're all like really the enforcer role is being embraced here, as there's a lot of laying of the body. Everyone trying to get the physical upper hand, if you will. With 8:47 remaining in this third, Michigan still with a 1-goal lead at 4-3 as we come to the end of this media timeout. Both teams using this free timeout to discuss what the game plan is. Michigan again, their goal is just to not let off the gas and fall apart like they did last night. Wisconsin wants to do exactly what they did last night and not give up and able to tie this game with 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Wolverines just got to do a little bit better of a job on connecting in the neutral zone. And same for the Badgers, but theirs is more an offensive push. The Wolverines just need to kill those precious extra seconds when they can get them.
This faceoff will be to the left of Logan Stein as we get ready to restart here. Crowd getting into this. They want their Badgers to take two against the number 10 Wolverines. Michigan wins the draw and will take it the other end. It'll be Evan Warner with it. Thought about dumping it, but decided against it. Into the blue line. Tossed it ahead. It was intended for Josh Ernest. He couldn't really collect that one completely and lost possession. Now Rylan Mosley will take it the other way for the Badgers. Across the red line to center ice. Now over the blue line. Looked like it could have been offsides, and they will call that offsides, as there was about a foot in front of him. I thought for a second they weren't going to. I was going to be, that's interesting. So
much for their streak of communication and not being offsides, but Ernest, he kind of got stuck up there, trying not to be offsides on the other end, is why the pass on the blue line kind of went awry in front. Scarfoni there for the Wolverines.
Neutral zone face-off here right in front of the Michigan bench. 8:30 remaining in this third period. Wisconsin wins the face-off. Sent over to Joe Polotachuk, who will just dump it in. A couple players tied up on the blue line, taken down. Evan Warner is going to now cross-check someone in the back and blown away. He's not getting a penalty here, not going to lie, as Michigan still has it in the central zone. We're going to lose possession. Wisconsin will have it in their own end now, trying to get it out. Give it to Tyson Dick, who takes it up. Goes cross-ice pass. Entering the zone now are the Badgers. Getting really chippy here now with 8 minutes remaining. Still on the Michigan end. They can't get it out. Finally, Keenan Draper will take it. Tried to backhand it. Couldn't get it out. Still kept in. What a shot up. Couldn't get on net. Logan Stein has lost his glove. There's a lot going on right now that I don't know how to dictate all of it. It looked like Owen Mellenbacher tried to do a backhand shot and then got tied up with Logan Stein, who then in turn lost his glove and was spinning around, and the refs blew it dead. Either, I don't know if it was just because of the glove or because it was covered up enough, but either way, we're going to have a stoppage in play and a face-off while Logan Stein gets all his gear back on.
Yeah, and the Tassie there was looking for the penalty. You could hear the ref you saw kind of in the background from the crowd, but I've never seen a hockey team lay on the ice more than what Wisconsin's doing today. It's honestly hard to watch because they're trying to draw up easy penalties to try to tie this game instead of playing
like
the
I'm
game.
Watching a soccer game to some degree. As Garrett Shifsky absolutely bowls over Ben Dexheimer on the blue line. What a hit as Michigan takes it the other way. Michael Hage now over the blue line. Loses possession, and Dexheimer will just send it back down the ice. And just going to be enough for icing, and so it'll go all the way back down for a face-off in the Wisconsin end.
That was a hit and a half right at that penalty box there.
That was a Cronwall hit the weight room type of hit where Ben Dexheimer's got to get up and be like, oh, man, I really don't want to skate anymore. But it's going to happen a lot. Ben Dexheimer at 5'10", 170, maybe a little bit of an undersized defenseman, but he definitely makes himself known with getting around people. Very offensive defenseman. Kind of reminds me of Keith Yandel. Wisconsin now wins the faceoff from their own end, and they'll just take it the other way. Make a change. Oh my gosh! Backhanded shot goes off the net. kept in the zone by Wisconsin. Joe Polotashuk will keep it in. Behind the net now, the Badgers trying to get in front. A couple players tied up at the bottom of the left circle. No one can get control of it. Finally, Wisconsin does with Adam Patilla. He'll send it across, but nobody's there, and it'll be picked up by Will Horkoff. Horkoff to Shifsky in the middle of the ice, and he'll get over the red line and dump it and make a change. That was very quick. They sent it right into the zone, an immediate backhand shot that just hits off the iron. Wisconsin came from about an inch from tying this game up right there.
Yeah, and Stein doing his best flurry impression there, thanking the goalpost.
Logan Stein now has it behind the Michigan end of the Michigan net. Send it to the left where the Wisconsin player was just waiting and immediately take a shot right back of the net, right in the chest protector though. Looks like that was Owen Lindmark who took that shot. Kind of a lucky play by Logan Stein to just give him the puck and then be back in time to save. It's a free shot opportunity with 6:40 remaining in this third. Face-off will be to the left of Stein.
Wolverines doing a good job emotionally here, controlling the pace, but also just not letting Wisconsin get to them with all the little antics and their strong offensive pushes into the Michigan zone.
Both players will enter the dot now. Nobody wins that face-off, and Michigan will collect it and then just send it out of the zone. Might be icing, is icing by about a foot. As the ref blows a tire again. That guy's got to sharpen his skates, man. It's the second time this period.
Yeah,
anyway, we'll go down to the other end and take a face-off in front of Logan Stein. But yeah, the main point there is that ref needs like a sweet stick or something.
Get him the little open skate thing. Little helper to push him around on the corner of the ice.
The sled. Face off to the left of Logan Stein now. Wisconsin trying to tie this game up with 6.5 remaining. One back to the defense. Dexheimer takes a shot that was blocked, never made it there. Great opportunity by Philip Lapointe to get in front of that. And Michigan will send it the other end for Dexheimer to collect. Dexheimer going around the entire net. He'll just leave it back there for Schultz. Schultz now going up the left side of the ice. He'll pass it ahead for Quinn Finley. Finley over the blue line, loses control of the puck. Michigan tried to send it ahead, but it was knocked down by a Badger glove, and so it'll stay right there. Over the blue line now. Looked like it was offsides, but Finley is able to get across fine and then immediately lose possession. Michigan kind of playing a keep-away game here where they're just getting the puck and sending it down without it being icing. Moldenhauer now would just dump it in. Scarfoni will corral it behind the Wisconsin cage. Loses it right in front of his net, and an immediate shot. It was a little bit left of the net. Didn't actually make it on net as Quinn Finley now goes the other way for the Badgers. Across the blue line. Top of the slot. Takes a shot, didn't get all of that, and just trickles over the goal line. And behind the net is now 4 players from each team, both fight for it. Michigan just trying to pin this against the boards and lose time, 5.5 remaining. Now they'll just send it out, and we'll go straight into the crowd. Looks like they're going to say that was tipped, so they're not going to get a delay game, but it was very close there. TJ Hughes almost getting a delay game by just flipping it out into the stands.
Fan that got the puck trying to fire him up a little bit.
Everyone gave him a little bit of a pity cheer, didn't want to stand up for nothing.
A little pity cheer, and it's go time for the Badgers now. 5:26, like you said, remaining, and they need more shots on net. They're only leading by 1 shot on net right now, and it's not enough.
Wisconsin wins the faceoff. Logan Hensler loses the puck, and they'll just have to send it in for Tyson Dick to get behind the net. Couldn't get anything going there. Tyson Dick now has it in the right corner of the Michigan end. Tied up with Luca Fantilli. It'll be just fall loose, and Josh Ernest will now take it into the center right zone for the Wolverines. And he will, in fact, make it across the red line and just dump it. So Michigan clearly just playing the time game here. Under 5 to go in this third period. Wisconsin trying to tie it up, trailing by 1, 4-3.
No reason for Michigan to kind of push it here if they can just get it into the Badgers.
They're playing a 1-1-2-1 scheme here, not even in the Wisconsin end, just letting them come to them. Wisconsin now takes it in the center end, and they'll just dump and chase. It'll be Sawyer Scholl trying to get it for the Badgers. A couple players fighting in the right corner. It'll be left for, looks like Sawyer Scholl still. Keenan Draper now tries to backhand it out. It doesn't make it all the way out. Stopped at the top of the zone. Draper still in the right corner. Behind the net. He'll try to kick it over to Edwards, but doesn't have all that on it. Hunter Haiti now with it. It'll backhand. Again, stopped at the top of the zone. Great defensive play here by Anthony Kerr to not let it leave the zone, but he can't get any help as now there's about 7 cross checks in the back. Dexheimer over to left-handed shot. Oh, what a shot block there by Ethan Edwards. Didn't even make it to the net, but went about 100 feet in the air after it hit a shin pad. Scrum in front of the net. Puck is behind the net. Sent ahead. He had Joe Polodichuk right there, but wasn't able to get that. Scarfoni will come about to the top of the circle to pass that ahead and keep him into it, but the Badgers are going to make a change anyway with 3:45 remaining in this third period. In the Michigan end, puck is right in front! Loses, and Wisconsin's going to score. Ben Dexheimer gets the goal he was looking for as that just came loose, and he was right place, right time. Top of the crease, able to put that in for the Badgers to tie the game up at 4.
That is a Michigan rebound if I've ever seen it. Comes right off of Stein, and he was kind of losing his stick at the same time. Tried to slide across, and there was just no chance for him. Dexheimer, right man, right spot to tie this game up at 4s.
A little bit of sloppy play from the Michigan defense, who had possession of the puck and then lost it, and then almost looked like Logenstein's pads were made of like silly putty there, and it bounced so hard off his left pad right onto Dexheimer's stick, who just had a complete wide open net. He could just tuck it in to tie the game up at 4 with 3:41 remaining. Now it looks like Brendan Naurato isn't happy about something. I don't know if he's going to take a look or he just wants to have his voice heard.
Looks like they're going to review something here. Well, let's listen in.
For what?
They used a timeout to challenge some sort of penalty. I don't know what the exact penalty was.
Ref was a little mumbled there, I'm not going to lie.
A little mumbled. Didn't turn up
Didn't like
the mic.
something. With 3:40 left, even if you don't win the challenge, you're going to lose your timeout. You basically just use this as a free timeout. So kind of a win-win situation here.
Yeah, and we're trying to take a peek and see what all the coaches up here are looking at. Doesn't look like much right now, but they were definitely conversating something to make Naurato pull the trigger here on using this kind of fake timeout to use the challenge.
I'm leaning over the desk here to look on the Michigan coach's iPad to see what they're looking at. Right now they're just looking at Ben Dexheimer fix his hair, so I don't know what's going on, but definitely saw something I didn't like.
I want to say they're challenging too many men because he looked at the bench first.
Furiously jotting something down in his notepad. I can't wait to see what happens. We'll let you know as soon as we find out.
And it does not look like a quick review here by the refs, so something worth looking at that Naurato and his team saw. And the Wolverines would love for this one to be called off here and get back up to the lead, but it's just...
Refs seem to have their answer from the Big Ten office in Chicago, and we'll see what they say here. Yeah, so they said the call on the ice stands, there's no penalty. Still don't know what penalty they were looking for, but there was none. So we have a 4-4 game with 3:41 remaining. We've got a whole new game here at 3:40. See if one of these teams can pull ahead and get that deciding goal in the last couple minutes. Maybe we get some free Big Ten hockey here on a Saturday night. We'll see. Neither team wants to do that, though, as Wisconsin wins the draw. Tripped up there by Josh Ernestine. Puck comes across. Ernestine now takes it over the line. Leaves it for TJ Hughes. Sends it ahead for Warner. A little too much on that. Warner will send it over to the right corner. No one's there, though. Wisconsin's going to get possession of it and just send it into the neutral zone. Changing possession a couple times. Wisconsin finally establishes it in the neutral zone now with Owen Lindmark. Lindmark over the blue line. Now Gavin Morrissey. In the left-hand corner is Lindmark. Him and Morrissey fighting with two Wolverines trying to get possession of the puck. Again, just slammed up against that boards. Nobody can really get possession of it.
16-19.
It's got to come loose at some point. This is insane. Finally, Tyler Duke is able to get it for Michigan and send it the other side of the ice for TJ Hughes, who will just send it down the ice himself, and Michigan will make a change. No icing here as Ben Dexheimer, the goal scorer, just goes back to corral it. As the crowd starts to get into this, 1, 2, 3, 4, we want more. Very original. Ben Dexheimer now takes it to the neutral zone, and he'll just send it. Didn't make it over the red line, though. They're not going to say it's icing as they were able to beat Michigan to the puck. That being said, Michigan still has possession. Garrett Shifsky's going to take it over the center line, over the blue line. Sent it over to Hughes, who fell down. Now he's pushed up against the boards by Logan Hensler of Wisconsin, as they're both just sitting there canoodling on the left side, right in front of the Old Dutch advertisement. Finally, they'll break free. It'll be Michael Hage with it right in front of the net. Lose the possession of it and didn't get a shot off, and Scarfoni is just going to cover that one for a frozen puck on a face-off with 2:13 remaining in this tie game.
There's just a lot of board fighting right now for both sides that are going back and forth. And it's precious time for both of these teams right now. Neither of them want to be spending that, especially the Wolverines when they're in the offensive zone, have been firing away tonight, keeping themselves ahead and in this game. So a lot of scrums.
Also, that's Ben Dexheimer's first goal of the season, which is mind-boggling because he's on their first-line D pair, and you hear him every 5 seconds. But he's definitely more of a playmaker than a goal scorer. But just hear that's his first goal. It's kind of amazing for the junior from Edina, Minnesota. I think I said that right. I know people from Minnesota hate when you mispronounce Edina or Edina, whatever it is.
And it looks like from the Big Ten broadcast that number 22 Horbach on that penalty review was looked at for boarding. So when it away from the play, he was looked at for boarding.
Interesting. In the meantime, Wisconsin's going to ice this puck, so it'll be brought all the way back for a face-off right to the right of Tommy Scarfoni with a minute 54 remaining in this 4-4 game. Shots are 20-19 in favor of Wisconsin, but Michigan has done when they needed to and kept the shot differential very even instead of falling very far behind. And now it looks like Wisconsin's going to call a timeout here.
Wisconsin has been pinned a couple series back-to-back in their own zone, so they don't really want to see a repeat of, you know, losing something that you were in the game the entire time and fighting back the entire time, keeping hope. And so they're just going to slow the pace here a little bit, bring their guys over, and Scarfoni, props to him for coming into this game and keeping them in it off of the bench with, you know, very limited warm-ups and real action play after an early night last night.
Michigan trying their hardest not to do their usual Dallas Cowboys impression and just absolutely blow this in the last period of the game. Still tied 4-4, but as we saw last night, they not only had an advantage and lost it, but had Wisconsin tie the game up, and then Wisconsin scored the game-winning goal with about 90 seconds left, to which Michigan then just sat on their heels and let them take it. So if I'm Brandon Naurato, I'm letting them know, hey, boys, it's not over yet. Pull a Monty Williams, hand everybody a screwdriver, and tell them you need to tighten it up. On the Wisconsin end, I don't know what you say. Score? Like, pretty obvious here.
It's honestly a win-win here for Wisconsin. If they can score and bring this into OT, either really works for them. They already got their points from yesterday night, so Michigan's really the one on their heels and knows how much this means.
Winning last night and now being tied with the number 10 team, Wisconsin will be ranked next week. And if not, then there's some conspiracy. But
you're looking at a Big Ten standing where possibly you win a couple more games or series, you're getting home ice advantage for the Big Ten tournament.
Face off to the right of Tommy Scarfoni as the timeout comes to an end. Won by Hage, sent back to Fantilli. Fantilli cross ice. It was intended for Warner, but he missed the puck. Now Moldenhauer's tied up in the left corner with somebody. Sent over to the left-hand side for a Wisconsin player to have it. It's going to be Gavin Morrissey. He'll just dump it out to center ice. Taking across now, it'll be Owen Lindmark going back to corral it. Sent ahead, nobody's there. Gavin Morrissey can't exactly hit it, but Michigan will just send it out to center ice. Wisconsin going back to get it. Evan Warner right on the player's tail, and he'll just send it lengthwise of the ice. And Quinn Finley could have had on the blue line and almost just lifted his stick like, no, I'm good. And so that's going to be an icing call and go all the way back to Wisconsin end. That's kind of an interesting, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. I think he thought it was tipped and was going to let the guys with some steam get it in kind of a dump scenario. But the Wolverines benefit from his mistake and get something back in the offensive zone.
Definitely a mental mistake there by Quinn Finley, as now there's another face-off to the right of Tommy Scarfoni. They're going to, Wisconsin clearly tried to make a change there at the second, but since the icing is, they're not allowed to, so they got to bring the player back on. Hage versus Morrissey in the face-off dot with 1:22 remaining. Won by Morrissey. Wisconsin has possession of it. In the right corner. Sent over to the left for Ben Dexheimer. Dexheimer sends it cross ice to Finley. Finley takes over the blue line for real this time. Tries to get past Evan Warner, but can't. Garrett Shifsky now has it for the Wolverines in center ice. He'll just dub it into the zone as Michigan makes a change. Tommy Scarfoni stops it behind his net. Behind the back pass to Anthony Kerr. Kerr takes it the other way. Shot it ahead, intended for Tyson Dick. Way too much on that, and will go the full length of the ice and be called an icing with 57.6 remaining and go down for another face-off in front of our boy Tommy Scarfoni.
Yeah, the Badgers just getting a touch aggressive on these cross-ice passes. I see what they're trying to do, break away, get the crowd that's all on their feet right now, and just hear another loud cheer from them. But the Wolverines not allowing it, as it's just simple mental mistakes by the Badgers that's not allowing these opportunities.
This sold-out crowd all on their feet, despite being listed at 0 for capacity on our stat sheet for some reason, as Michigan wins the face-off with 50 seconds remaining. Up to the D, sent ahead. Tried to be tipped by Moldenhauer, however, went to the left of the net. Wisconsin now has it in the left corner. Sent ahead by Tassi. Tassi will just flip it over the defense. As now it's a foot race, and Christian Fitzgerald tries to beat Logan Stein, as Stein beats him to the puck and sends it out. Kept in the zone, though, wasn't able to get it out, but stopped the breakaway. A couple players tied up now in the left zone. Tyson Dixon go down to his feet. Top of the slot shot by Wisconsin was blocked by Logan Stein. What a shot there. That was by Kyle Kukkinen, who found himself wide open with the puck in top of the slot with no defender near him. Now full length of the ice on the other side, Wisconsin still has it, but are trying to regroup as two players go very hard into the boards as they throw it ahead, and it's going to be an icing. Well, that was an awkward collision for both those players.
Yeah.
11.4 remaining.
TJ Hughes there kind of got caught up in there, and it led to that icing of Dexheimer, who's just a little slow to get up from that. But the Wolverines, they're going to want a quick draw here and a quick shot to maybe get 2 opportunities.
11.4 remaining. Wisconsin just got to play defense here. Michigan wants to get something as TJ Hughes enters the face-off dot, try and win it back. He's got Ethan Edwards right behind him. Trying to get a quick shot here with 11 seconds remaining. Here comes a draw. Face-off 1, back to the D. Truscott has it, over to Edwards on the side. Takes a shot, never made it to the net. It was blocked by a couple feet. With 4 seconds remaining, time will just trickle off the clock here, and we are headed to overtime in America's Dairyland, baby. Don't you love Big Ten hockey?
Thankfully, it's just going to be a very quick switch over and almost the length of a timeout. 2 minutes here before overtime starts, but I thought you were going to break our booth up here, pounding on the table, getting some extra free Big Ten hockey here.
Oh, I get pumped, buddy. I don't think this is a joke. Free hockey? I rode in a car someone else drove for 6 hours from Ann Arbor to Madison. I'm all for it.
Students are even staying for this OT. They know the bar lines are getting a little
They don't want to hit
too.
State Street yet. They will be at Mondays later. They are staying for this. Just to remind those listening at home, overtime is a 3-on-3 period. It was an extra 5 minutes. It is sudden death as usual. If it goes that 5 minutes and nobody scores, it goes to the Big Ten record as a tie. However, both teams will go to a shootout just essentially for bragging rights, even though the game will be counted as a tie in the record book.
Wisconsin kind of doing the same thing as last week, and they're winning in a little bit of a comeback fashion. And now that second game's just getting a tie. And appreciate the comments that are rolling in. Yeah.
About 50 seconds remaining in the break between third period and overtime.
I don't know who they are, but yeah, go for it. 3-on-3. Whose chances do you like better here?
Oh, here's the thing. Michigan's got the faster players, but Wisconsin has been better at setting up their offensive attacks this game. So if they can remain spread out enough where they can move the puck around really well, I like Wisconsin's chances here. If the Michigan players can just simply outskate the Badgers, I think they're going to win based off speed because they can get around them. It really is anyone's game here. It's not like, I don't know, it's an obvious winner. With 10 seconds remaining to come to the center right faceoff. I'm ready for overtime, baby.
I'm ready for it too. Hopefully the Wolverines can pull it out. Badgers looking to complete the sweep, and star lineups out here for both teams to start off the period.
It'll be Ben Dexheimer in to take the faceoff. Ben Dexheimer is a Swiss Army knife for this Wisconsin team. He can do everything, man. My hand is throbbing, by the way, from smashing the desk as we end
I have zero doubt. I thought we were going forward with the entire little level that they kind of fakely built.
Oh, this is the longest face-off in history. I don't know why they're not dropping the puck. It's going to be TJ Hughes against Dexheimer. Dexheimer's going to get thrown out, actually. And so it'll be Gavin Morrissey taking it. Now Hughes is thrown out, so this is just really fun. Somebody is taking the face-off, and it's happening eventually. That's all I can say. They finally dropped the puck. It's won by Michigan. Sent back. TJ Hughes now has it in center ice zone. He'll leave it for Ethan Edwards. Ethan Edwards crosses the middle red line. Loses the puck. Jackson Halem is there. Left dot. Tied up in his feet. Didn't get control of it. Now he's behind the net. Over to the right left corner now. Halem's tied up with a couple of Wisconsin Badgers. Quinn Finley finally gets possession, sends it over to Morrissey on the right-hand side. Still behind the Wisconsin net. They can't really get behind that. It's going to be Finley with it. He'll just send it up. No Wisconsin Badgers there. Michigan has possession of it right along the boards. Blows a tire. It's TJ Hughes. Morrissey, Hughes, and Finley all fighting for it. Nobody can get possession. It'll be sent back to the D, but Ethan Edwards can't keep that in, and he'll have to regroup as Michigan and Wisconsin are going to make a couple changes here.
Smart play there by Edwards. He recognizes that the 2 switches here with some fresh legs, even if it means the Badgers do, is great for the Michigan program.
Very dangerous here. Michael Hage just walking in front of his own net. Tried to send it ahead for Warner, couldn't get all that on him. Warner back to Hage, still in middle ice zone now. Nobody can really get it. Creeping back into his own end. Now turns around and go the other way. Hage with it, right inside the blue line. Hage, top of the slot. Right at the Big Ten logo inside the blue line, trying to get any sense of freedom. Nobody can get around anybody. Now Warner with it. Right hash mark against the boards. Warner creeps back up to the blue line. Tries to leave it for Michael Hage. Wasn't there. Wisconsin's going to take it the other way. Christian Fitzgerald. He's got Tyson Dick going down the middle of the line. Not fast enough, though. Finally passed back to Mellenbacher. Back to Fitzgerald at the top of the left circle. Over at the blue line. Sends it far side of the ice for Polodichuk. Polodichuk has it right inside the blue line, top of the slot. Leaves it for Mellenbacher. Takes a shot, stopped by Stein. Players wrapped up right in front of the net. Lindmark, able to steal it away. Lindmark takes another one-timer by Ryan Mosley. Didn't make it to the net. Wisconsin now has it, and they'll just walk back into the center ice zone, regroup here. Polodichuk taking it into the zone, over the blue line, left-hand circle, shot, blocked by Stein. Couple players fighting for it behind the net now. 2:45 remaining in this overtime period. Michigan now takes it out of the zone. It'll be Garrett Shifsky with it going the other way. As Michigan makes a change, they'll have to hold up. Shifsky now on the right side of the ice. Right on the Wisconsin logo. Over the blue line now. Shifsky takes a shot, blocked off a Wisconsin player. Ethan Edwards has it behind the Wisconsin cage. He'll go around the world. Now he's on the right side. Right at the top of the slot. He's doing it all by himself. He's behind the net again. Loses possession of it. Ben Dexheimer for the Badgers now has it behind the cage, as everyone's going to change because everyone cannot breathe. Dexheimer now takes it over the center ice red line, over the blue line into Michigan zone. Dexheimer along the goal line, takes a shot from right at the goal line. Easy stop by Stein there. 2 minutes exactly remaining in this overtime period. Michigan now in the center ice zone. TJ Hughes with the puck over the blue line. Right hash mark against the board. Back to Ethan Edwards, top of the slot. Edwards, back to Hughes. Hughes on the left side, right inside the blue line. He'll drop it for Whitelaw. Whitelaw, top of the slot, left circle. Sends it ahead! Tried to be tipped by Hughes, just a little too high on that, goes over the net. William Whitelaw fighting in the back with looks like Dexheimer in the left corner. Nobody can get possession. Finally kicked out. TJ Hughes has it, blows a tire. Gavin Morrissey now for the Badgers. Still in the left corner, nobody can get possession. Finally, Morrissey will kick it back to Dexheimer behind the cage, and they'll just get it out of the zone and make a change here. 1:20 remaining in this overtime. Gavin Morrissey just waiting for his boys to make a change. He'll pass it ahead, intended for Logan Hensler in the middle zone, but it'll be a little too out of his reach, and he'll go back into the Michigan zone for Ethan Edwards to collect. Now Michael Hage with it. Throws it ahead. That was offsides by about 3 feet, and so, yeah, they're going to call that. Marcus Stappa looked like just got a little too antsy on that one. That was a little too far ahead. Not Marcus Stappa.
Both teams being very patient, setting up a play that they'd like to see, especially the Wolverines with Ethan Edwards. He's really getting deep into the zone, which is hard to do in some of these overtime situations. Timeout, Wisconsin going to call a timeout here in overtime with the 1:02 left. And Wisconsin getting some good opportunities too, driving the net, trying to get a lucky tip in. But it just seems like setting up, first breaking that blue line has been a little bit of a struggle on both sides, as it's a slow changing process.
Definitely back and forth. I love 3-on-3 hockey. This is so back and forth. Don't think there's been a face-off this entire overtime, has there? It's been insane.
Not.
So with 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining this overtime, this Wisconsin timeout. Both teams have had plenty of opportunities here. Both goalies keeping them in the game. What a jovial crowd here. Let me break out my thesaurus real quick. I know we go to a rival school, but Madison's a great town. I love it here. It's
Great
amazing.
town. Great little downtown, and the students here in this stadium has been loud and active every game of this series.
Yeah, it's not like some other dumps like East Lansing or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to get in trouble for that as we get ready to start here with a minute 2 left in this face-off right in front of the Michigan bench in the neutral zone.
You can call them a dump. They won in overtime in a shootout.
Yeah. Face-off won by the Badgers, and they'll go back into the Wisconsin zone, and they'll have to collect. Ben Dexheimer, who else has it behind the Wisconsin cage? Michigan not putting any pressure on him. Jackson Halem is just staring at him right in front of Tommy Scarfoni. Dexheimer will leave it behind the net. Back to Dexheimer now, heading into the neutral zone. Over the center ice Wisconsin logo. Now with a sense of pressure, he'll just double back, regroup. In his own end now. Waiting for Lindmark to come back. Passes it to Lindmark. Lindmark and Dexheimer now just standing behind the net. Finally, Lindmark will take it out to the right side. Drop pass for Morrissey. Morrissey still in his own zone. Finally, they enter the neutral zone now. Over the red line. He'll drop it for Hensler. Hensler, Halem lost his stick trying to poke check that. Hensler now in the zone, top of the slot. Comes over to Lindmark. Lindmark takes a shot! Blocked away by Stein. Michigan with possession right in front of their own net. It's Michael Hage. He's got to get rid of it.
Halem not having a stick, really holding up Shifsky's decisions there.
Michigan, TJ Hughes now will take a shot from the center ice circle as time was running out, and it will end. So this game is officially going in the record books as a tie. However, we are heading to a shootout here in Madison for bragging rights.
The Badgers couldn't ask for more this weekend. They get all possible points with even adding a tie into there.
So tonight's game will be recorded as a tie. Players from each team will alternate shots to determine the shootout winner, and the teams will basically alternate shooters until winners determined. It's not like the NHL where you get 3 guys guaranteed. It's basically still sudden death where one guy scores and the other doesn't. That's it. We go home. So definitely want to put your best guy out first. No strategy here. Just put it on net, score a goal.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting for Big Ten standings as Wisconsin will move ahead of Michigan this week. I don't know, haven't checked in on Ohio State if they're playing this weekend.
They lost to Penn State tonight, so
that's embarrassing. I hate to break it to them.
Beautiful, because Penn State can't play hockey at all, and so for Ohio State to lose to them is great for
Minnesota,
in an unbiased way.
They went into an overtime tie, and then MSU ultimately won, but it went in the Big Ten standings as a tie. So the Badgers had themselves a weekend at home here, and
the Gophers tied Michigan State. I don't know who won in the shootout, but in the record book, it's a tie. So that's good. It looks like Sparty might be losing a little bit of steam here as we come down the final stretch.
You know, I give them credit for turning the program around, but I think coaching staff there, longevity into the season, they seem to get tired right around these last 3 weeks into just the beginning of the Big Ten tournament. So it'll be interesting to see if they can switch the memo.
About 20 seconds left in this break, and then we're going to begin the glorious shootout to determine who the real winner of this game is.
I don't know if I've ever called a shootout for college hockey.
I have never called one either, so we're going to figure this out together. Michigan is going to elect to shoot first as a away team here. They're going to put out TJ Hughes to start this one off. The Brooks Bandit legend, see if he can do anything for the Wolverines here. Because if you play in the AJ, you don't play anywhere but Brooks. So, of course he played there. Hughes will get the puck at center ice. Takes it in the zone on the left-hand side. Top of the circle. Stick handling. Left side move. Poke check by Scarfoni. What a poke check there to keep it out. He had going to have a wide open cage on the left side for the opportunity. Absolutely stole it. Quinn Finley's going to come out for the Badgers. The Islanders draft pick's going to see if he can put this away and send this Wisconsin crowd happy. Takes the puck at center ice. Right side now, kind of slow. Easy toward the middle. Takes a shot. Easy stop there, right by into the right leg of Stein. No real move there. Just walked in and tried to rip it bottom left corner, but Stein was ready for it.
Always love the goaltenders' response to these shootouts. They love them because they haven't done them since high school.
Whitelaw now for the Wolverines. He'll take it across center ice line. Left side now, creeping towards the middle. Tries to make a move. Tried to get over the glove. Stopped by Scarfoni again. Tried to just get it over the glove as he was in the butterfly position, but didn't raise it high enough and just hit the top and trickled over to the right. So no team able to score so far. Gavin Morrissey will now come on. Been a little quiet tonight. Definitely wants to make up for that here. Morrissey takes it for the Badgers across the blue line, right side. Now it moves towards the middle, makes a move. Tried to send a 5-hole. It's somewhere. Logan Stein stopped it. He went to a starfish position as Morrissey was just trying to hit it 5-hole the second he lifted his leg, but Logan Stein was ready for that. Now the freshman phenom, Michael Hage for the Wolverines. Hage will take the puck. He'll go right down the middle. Stick move, left, right, score! The classic 1-2 deke move works on Tommy Scarfoni as Michael Hage puts the Wolverines up 1-0 in the shootout.
That was disgusting. Scarfoni did not have a chance there as he overcorrected on that first juke.
Christian Fitzgerald to come out for the Badgers now, see if he can extend this. Fitzgerald heads over to the right, almost along the boards. Now heads back towards the middle. Looking for a move, backhand shot. Stopped by Logan Stein! Michigan is going to come away with a shootout win here. And what else but split the series? Because that is the Wolverines' MO. It will go in as a tie. However, Michigan wins in the shootout. And this Badger faithful will go out a little disappointed here as Michigan's able to stop them from taking two.
Yeah, for the Wolverines, nice to get the little momentum here, at least getting the tie tonight. You know, you're coming into this stadium, it's loud, it's a ruckus crowd, and it's something that they needed to kind of overcome and figure this out as both teams kind of go for the handshakes here.
Surprised there's not a haymaker or two in the handshake line the way this weekend went, but
well, the point's at the back of the line for a reason.
But no, great job. A little shaky there from both teams at one time or another. Very a back and forth. One of the most even weekends I've ever seen as a whole. Basically, both games were within one goal for all but maybe 2 minutes entirely of this entire weekend. So that was a great weekend by both teams. Wisconsin, obviously, as we've discussed multiple times, deserves to be ranked. Will probably be ranked come next week. Michigan might drop a little bit with a loss and a tie. But these are teams that will win games in the Big Ten tournament and just will come down to a dogfight to see who gets home ice advantage. But I wouldn't be surprised to see these two teams back playing each other. Yeah,
and you put it exactly correct. They're going to be competitors in the Big Ten. I think both have a chance if they win out for the majority of the time. Wisconsin should be a top 10 team. Their record was shaky early on, but they've been playing lights out as of recently.
They had to start the season, they played Minnesota, Denver, Michigan State. They had a brutal schedule. And their losses are all good losses. So they're definitely the most underrated team in college hockey.
Nice to finally see them just come about, show up this weekend against an opponent that's ranked. And for the Wolverines, they got to clean up some mistakes when they get back to Ann Arbor.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I've been Zach Warshaw alongside Eddie. I did it again. Eddie Olejniczak. God. Thank you for listening to WCBN as we travel to Madison this weekend. As always, we're going to leave you with a good night and a go blue. Thanks for listening, everybody.